I-25 temporarily shut down in the Castle Rock area between Wolfensberger Road and Castle Rock Parkway due to some police investigation work going on there. Expected to last until about 10:30 or 11. An alternate in place, Wolfensberger Road west to Prairie Hawk Drive, then north to Meadows Parkway, then east back to I-25 to get you around that. The rest of the drive actually looking good. No reported accidents. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly cloudy and dry for today. 65 for the high, 33 for tonight's low. Sunny and 77 for the high both Saturday and Sunday. Currently it's 44. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Your happiest spring starts at Lowe's. Get those gatherings started with the Pit Boss Pro Series pellet grills starting at $499 exclusively at Lowe's. Home to any possibility. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Valid 3/24 through 3/30.
This is Dan Kaplis. Serious car crash cases are like a thief in the night. They suddenly, out of nowhere, steal a person's health, their level of happiness, and too often their very lives. At our firm, we devote our God-given skills and vast resources to helping the survivors of terrible car crashes heal and rebuild. We're believed to be the only firm in Colorado history to win 5 straight multi-million-dollar jury verdicts in crash cases. If you need our help, please give me a call at 303-907-5003 or hit dankapleslaw.com.
How long will this bull market last? What will the next recession look like? Are you financially prepared? Visit my website now at kurtcambier.com for your free portfolio analysis. That's Kurt with a K, CAMBIER.com.
Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer, member of FINRA SIPC, investment advisor.
I don't like being in craft spaces,
but I don't mind a cave.
Like some of these cave explorers where they squeeze through, but that
No,
can be the
I'll tell you what's fucking worse. Underwater caves. Now those are fucking crazy.
I had to do that.
Except you have your tanks, you know.
Addy had to do
As
that.
long as you know your way out, you better have a rebreather. Well, no, what they do, but you always have a line. They go, there's a line that they unreel as they go into it.
It's fucking cool. I like underwater caves. I'd never get into a tight spot.
I'd like to go scuba diving, but they say vertigo is even worse underwater.
I never experienced it.
Really? I never say. Well, I don't have vertigo, so.
If you can't see the sun, or if you're night diving, I'd agree with that 100%.
Oh, night diving is so cool.
If you went upside down, remember your buoyancy is perfect, so yeah, you would have no idea which way you are.
It's the Troubleshooter Show.
I've done a couple of night dives. They're really fun.
Hey, welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. For anxiety, for pain, for inflammation, 40% off. Use Tom and the promo code for just the rest of this month. That's the 40% off. And where you go all the way to the checkout. Then where it says, do you have a coupon code? You say yes and put Tom, and you'll get 40% off on any of the goods, including the CBD that has a cosmetic line, which is really great because of the anti-inflammatory properties. It's Panacea Life Sciences, RealCBDThatWorks.com. Today's car day, but we talk about anything. Of course, we emphasize cars. So 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Do you think manufacturers are eyeing this electric car thing, thinking, how long are we going to do this? Auto workers, assembly lines. I thought about that. I really thought about it. Because isn't there a mandate to have a certain percentage by 2030? Or is it? No, I thought there was an electric vehicle mandate.
I think there's a goal.
Because I don't see people moving away from cars in the near future, like the internal combustion engine. But I also see the allure of electric vehicles. I recently was looking at some, and I thought, my God, there's nothing to maintain. Do you know, because of the reverse charging on when you let off the accelerator, it actually slows you down faster than a brake. So you can, it doesn't slam it on the brake, but you can use that and set that to whatever resistance. It's amazing. They say that brake pads on a good electric car with a coasting charging system they say can last you 100,000 miles or more, brake pads. There is virtually no lubrication. Many of the parts are sealed and self-lubricated. There's no transmission. There's no timing. I mean, and they said 80% of the maintenance can be done over Wi-Fi. Do you understand what I'm saying? 80% can be done over Wi-Fi. And then the other 20% out of that, most of that can be done at your home with a technician. And the only time you would have to go into a dealer or to a service center is for, like, I mean, almost nothing, but like major damage or some kind of major overhaul. But even battery exchanges can be done in the field. They're converting. I just want to know what you think, because it sounds crazy to me. And I'm wondering. Okay, the steering and the suspension. Jeff, I mean, I'm not purporting you to be an expert at that, but I mean, what is the suspension on an electric car?
I am honestly not familiar enough with them. We just don't see them in our shop, so I could not speak that well to it. So,
are you thinking, or you're thinking you're going to be damn retired by that time, right? You're not worried about it.
Well, they still have a final drive assembly that's inside there. There's already parts that are going to be breaking down inside those. There will be a market for the aftermarket tech to work on them.
I understand, but what I'm saying is until the world really goes that way, you're probably going to be retired?
Yeah, no, I agree with you that I don't think the world's going to go that way.
Ever?
Not completely, no.
Mark?
The future's really going to come into hydrogen down the pike.
More so than electric?
I think so, yeah. It's more sustainable. Right now...
Would the engines resemble internal combustion?
Yes.
Mark, what do you think?
Well, I think it is going to be more electric because of battery technology, but answering your question on suspension, so it's virtually like any other line of cars. If you look at Tesla, they're cheap ones. Well, it's hard to even call a Tesla cheap, but the Model 3 and basically everything but the S and their little SUV, I think it's called the X or whatever, those two have air suspension. The rest have what we would just call shocks and struts. So totally different deal. It's like buying a Cadillac compared to a cheap Chevy car.
All right, Nancy, let's talk about your 2020 tax refund. What's going on, Nancy?
Hey, Tom. Good
Hi.
Talking to you.
Hey.
Is it okay to be on speaker?
Of course it is. Yeah, yours is. Some I can't hear people, but you're fine. What's going on?
Okay. So here's the deal. It's about the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
They owe me from a refund from 2020 when I filed my 2019 tax return.
Sure. Oh, wait. Okay. So you're owed a refund on 2019.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and I've kept all of the paperwork that I've gotten from them. And on
when did you file? When did you file in 2020? In April or in February? In January? When?
You know, it was probably in March.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, I got a letter just stating that your account is paid in full at this time, and that was dated on.
What does that mean? March. I've never gotten a notice saying my account was paid in full. What does that mean? No, what does that mean?
Well, to me, it means I don't owe anything.
Well, but I've never gotten a notice in my life saying your account is paid in full, even when I've paid it in full. And I don't understand. Okay. How much of a refund did you have coming?
According to April the 5th, and then in
Well, no, just tell me your refund amount you're waiting for. How much?
$1,107.
$1,107. Okay, was expecting a refund. Then you didn't get. I want to call Larson Tax Relief for some guidance on this. They're experts at taxes, and they're really smart people. Hang on. No, we will get to your problem and talk about that. We will. Now, Vicki, what's going on with you, Vicki?
Okay, Marty told me to call you back.
Yeah.
I called a couple of weeks ago about the 2014 Mercedes Sprinter van that we should have had the recall and the chain
right. I remember. Here's the deal. This happens a lot, and I bet you Jeff sees it in his shop. People have the same exact problem with a similar vehicle, the same vehicle, but the VIN number is not included in the recall. So you end up spending money where the other person gets it done, and we don't get it. Now, I didn't realize you purchased this from Westminster. You did, from Mercedes-Benz of Westminster?
Yes, I did. In 2014, April 18th.
You bought it new, right?
Brand new. And we
now, did you ever call back Westminster?
Yes, I did. I did, and they never reached. I called and left text.
No, I know they don't return calls. I know they don't return calls anymore. They don't return emails.
That's right.
They pretty much have changed. For anyone listening, Mercedes-Benz of Westminster is not what you think it is.
That's right. They don't respond.
No, and never. No, I mean you can't get customer service at Mercedes. Now, I called them up the other day, talked to the service department. I said, are you guys accepting customers? I mean, do you give a damn? Because I'd like to know. I called, I've emailed on my own vehicle, and I haven't gotten a response. And also, I mean, we called the general manager. We just wanted to know, I mean, because that's the dealer that should be going to bat for you.
Yes, because we bought it brand new there.
It sounds to me as if they suck.
Well, Mark, they actually are a premier dealer, or I don't know if I should say was, because I'm telling you the truth now. These guys were known for service and for customer service and for pricing and everything.
I would say at minimal.
Something happened.
In the last 6 months, we have had probably 5 calls on them.
On who? Westminster?
On Westminster.
Really?
Really?
Holy crap. I didn't even know this was a Westminster problem until, and Marty tried calling the general manager, and even when he didn't get a call back, wrote an email saying, you're rude for not, and he never responded.
I thought one of the whole shticks with Mercedes was service.
Vicki, I'm kind of pissed that they have not even talked to you about your car. I'm really pissed.
No, they haven't talked to you or Marty. We sent the, I emailed all the data all the research I have on the problem with this, lack of the recall. And, they never responded. He said he texted them, emailed them all that information.
Have you ever known, Jeff, for them to extend the VIN number to someone who has the same exact problem?
If they start seeing enough issues with it, then yes, they'll increase the campaign to move over to other vehicles.
And see, I've sent all the information to NHTSA, too, the National Highway Traffic Safety Association. I've sent them a ton of information about this, too, and asked them to expand the recall. So
did you pay $10,000?
We paid $9,725. No, it's $9,753.48 for a new engine.
Vicki, here's what I want. Deputy Doc is sitting here, just for the heck of it. I want him to call Westminster again and saying, we have a problem with someone who bought a car, a brand new Sprinter in 2014, and has a question about a recall. We're going to call and just see who they direct us to and tell them we need to talk to someone. And if not, then we're just going to have to let people know what Westminster's about. That's it. If they turn that bad and suck that much, then we got to let people know. We also have Larson Tax Relief that will come on and talk to us about this refund issue. A lot of people have refund issues. All of that coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Get your calls in, 303-713-TALK.
It's Westminster Mercedes.
What's that?
Westminster Mercedes.
Yeah, I would call them and just look. We've been trying to get through to someone. She's been on the radio now a few times, and all we need to do is get some kind of comment. She has a 2014 Sprinter she bought brand new from your dealership in 2014. She simply wants to know about a recall item. She didn't have a VIN number in it, but it was the same exact problem. I mean, somebody should help us talk about it. Let's talk about approval reverse mortgage. If you're looking for a reverse loan, and some people should be because it's a great retirement tool, it can help you immensely. Approval reverse can help a lot. Approval reverse can counsel you to get you the right deal, whether it's a line of credit, a full lump sum, or monthly payments. Find out more about extracting equity from your home in income, but never paying tax on it, and you'll never be upside down in that loan.
ApprovalReverse.com. That's ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528. The Art of Granite does countertops of all kinds, not just granite, but the name has stuck for many, many years. Mitch Floria and his team do a great job. They'll give you a price on the phone. They do all natural stone, including, of course, granite and quartz and marble, and they do man-made materials. All materials are wholesale to you. Tear out and haul away's free. The bathroom's free when you have the kitchen done. For a limited time, you'll get a free sink, mention Martino, and give them a call for a price on the phone. They're good, good people. TheArtOfGranite.com, 303-386-5919.
York is worth more right now than any time in the past, and that's pretty exciting. Trade in, trade up, trade down, whatever your needs are, the Sharpest Rides in Englewood, they're going to give you the best offer hands down. And the Sharpest Rides is so easy to get to, just located minutes from I-25 in Santa Fe. And with the best appraisals in town from their trained buyers, you know you'll always be taken care of and get the best deals at the Sharpest Rides. I'm telling you, if you're looking to trade in, go to the Sharpest Rides, best customer service in town. Get more info at thesharpestrides.com.
Social Security questions? When should you start your benefits? 62, 67, 70, or when? What about benefits for a divorced or surviving spouse? So many questions, and Social Security will not give you
What kind of car you got? 182K on your brake pad.
Okay. A free Social Security class on Thursday afternoon, March 31st. For more information, go to registercolorado.com. That's registercolorado.com.
I don't think I've replaced.
720-488-8604.
I haven't had to replace brake pads for a long time.
Well, yeah, but as soon as you need your underwear changed, you get it in the car.
I know.
It's out of gas. Fuck, you know.
As soon as he drives through a water bubble. Oh, it's wet.
Park it next to the snowmobile in the lake.
I just listed my Genesis, man. I'm going to miss that car, but fuck it.
Oh, that little town.
He won't listen to that. He won't miss it that much.
I know. You don't miss nothing too long. Where he's riding around smiling about a new one.
You saw that whole thing with the Broncos and the buyback gun program they did here a week or two ago?
Oh, that's so stupid.
They've got like 4 more events coming up.
How many guns did they get?
Oh, it was stupid, dude. It was only like 200.
What do they pay for?
That's what I was getting to, because I need to find somebody with FFL. I'm thinking I'm going to go set up a booth right next to them.
I was going to say, I'll offer you more.
Yeah, exactly. They're only offering $50 to $250 per gun.
They're probably all stolen. Is it one of these no questions
I don't care if
asked?
it's stolen, what, Mike?
Well, is it one of these no questions asked?
Yes, 100%. So I figured somebody comes walking up with their, Marlin.
Their gun with no fucking serial number.
Yeah, Marlin 3030, that's fine.
They're just trying to get it on the politically correct thing.
Oh, heck yeah. Everything, I love the one that they promoted for the lady who, it was the gun her son killed himself. Which I'm surprised she didn't leave it with the cops to begin with. But so she wanted to get rid of it, and the cops were saying it was off the street. I'm sorry, it never was on the street. It was in her home.
Usually this order can be modified in certain circumstances, but such modifications...
Yeah, I figured, hey, if they give me $50 for it, I'll give you 75,
to attorneys that are well acquainted with...
Walk away with 10, 15 guns.
The bad guys just throw their old shit away and get new stuff. And help them.
Well, they steal new shit.
Or buy it.
But as long as I got somebody with an FFL, they can go ahead and do the background check. We'll just sit there with a laptop.
Why would you have to do a background check for buying?
You have to do a background check because they changed the laws. Even if I was to sell you a gun, technically we're supposed to do background checks. We're supposed to go to a gun shop.
No. What I'm saying is that if I'm selling a gun to an FFL, I don't have to do a background check on me.
No, but if I'm buying, okay, so you come
you said you're going to get a guy with an FFL.
Right, because you come to surrender the gun and I interrupt you before you get to that gun and say, hey, I'm going to give you 75 instead. Since I'm buying it, they have to run a check on me.
Not if you're an FFL, they don't.
No, that's why I need somebody with an FFL to go with me.
Right. That's what I mean. Then you don't have to worry about background checks.
You guys are saying the exact
I know. You don't have to worry about background checks. That's what I said. Just fucking set them up and buy them. And you know, it's amazing. You can probably get some good deals. I don't think anybody's going to sell anything worth more than that. People know what they're worth.
Hard saying. I know a few years ago when they did it back in Chicago, people were putting together pipe guns. So they have 10, $15 worth of materials, and, get 75.
Hi, right, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. SentryRV.com for the great deals in RVs. It's car day today, so let's talk. SentryRV.com, 303-453-1111. And all of this supply chain stuff, they've not run short. And they're building a new facility up there at I-25 and exit 240. If you go up north to the Longmont turnoff to exit 240, it's a right turn off of that exit. SentryRV.com. They pay excellent money on trades, and they have new and used for you to buy. 303-453-1111. Let's talk to Michael Plantanga from Larson Tax Relief. We have a tax question, and we get this all the time, Michael, about refunds. But here's what I don't understand. The first thing she said just confused me. We'll talk about the refund after this, but I have never gotten this notice before in my life, and she got a notice after filing taxes, that a letter saying her account was paid in full. Now, why would anyone, I've never gotten a letter saying my account was paid in full. Why would she get that? Being a regular taxpayer who filed her taxes, expecting a refund, she gets a letter.
Well, actually, Tom, the IRS does issue those notices. If your balance for a particular period is paid in full, they will send you a notice advising you of that. And
but what about a regular tax year, though? I mean, a regular tax year. Like I've never gotten that notice, and I've been paid in full every single time.
Well, right, but I think that there was a pre-existing balance that she owed the IRS for. They applied the refund to it. It paid it off.
Oh, that's why she didn't get a refund.
Yep.
I see what you're saying. Hold on. Trish, that sounds plausible. It's possible when you filed your taxes in March 2020 for tax year 2019, you were expecting a refund of a little over $1,000. Instead, you get a letter saying your account's paid in full. Did they say they were applying your refund? Oh, I'm sorry, Trish. I got the wrong one. It's my fault, Trish. Nancy. Sorry, Nancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Did it say that they were applying your refund, or?
It says your account is paid in full at this time, and then on August 30th of 2021, they sent me a notice saying a refund is due. $1,107.
Okay, so after that letter that you were paid in full, they said you have a refund due.
Well, in between, I got a form from them, a billing summary that amount due is $602.81.
And then they're going to send you the balance of the. So where did you owe from? Do you know?
No.
Well, apparently
I won't owe anything because I did pay the $602.81. And
when did you pay that? When did you pay that, Trish?
It's Nancy.
I'm sorry. I keep looking at the wrong line, Nancy. It's me. Don't worry about it. But I promise I'm paying attention. So, Nancy, when did you pay that?
I paid that in 2021 because they sent me a billing summary saying what was due. But then what I don't get is in August of last year, twice, they sent me this refund due.
Did they say how much it was? How much? Oh yeah, $1,000. They said, right, 1,107. So hey.
Right. Oh, and then Tom, one other thing. So in the last 6 weeks, they sent me a check for $11.68.
You know what I think, Michael? I think that was your refund. I think you owed and you didn't pay enough, and then that you owed another $600, and then you got the notice you're paid in full, and then you got your refund.
No, I got paid in full at this time. I got this April 10 of 2021.
Before you got, hold on, you're paid in full, and then you get a collection notice.
Yes.
The sequence,
then,
that was the sequence. First, you get a notice, you're paid in full. Then you get a letter saying you owe $600.
Yes.
And then you get a refund for $11.
I got the notice though. Refund due is $1,100.
When did you get that one? You got the letter saying you're paid in full. When did you get the refund due notice? After that?
Yes, in August.
Okay. The months don't matter. I'm just talking about sequentially, okay? So you first get a notice saying that you're paid in full. Then you get a notice saying a refund is due. Then you get a notice saying you owe money.
It's the other way around.
Okay.
Amount due is $602. That was in April.
Listen, Nancy, I don't care about the months. I need to know chronologically when you got the letters. First, you got one saying you're paid in full. Then you got a letter saying what?
Amount due.
Okay, so you're paid in full, yet they tell you you owe money. Then you get one after amount due saying you got a refund coming.
Correct.
I just don't understand it. So first you get paid in full, second amount due, third you got money coming, and fourth the money you got coming is less than they said you had coming. I don't get any of it. Do you get it, Michael at Larson Tax Relief? Do you understand any of this? It sounds so creepy.
Yeah.
Tom, it sounds like she had a balance before that was paid off. She had another balance that was not paid in full for another year. The IRS said, we're keeping your refund or part refund for 20, going to pay that off, and here's the rest of your refund after that's paid. That's what I suspect.
So the check that I got 6 weeks ago for $11.68, should I go, is it okay to cash it?
I see no reason why you wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you cash it?
Because I don't trust the IRS.
Yeah, but you're willing to give. Okay. Are you willing to accept what they've done?
Who files your taxes for you, or do you do this yourself?
In that year, I did it myself, and then I went to Jackson Hewitt last year and this year.
Well, you should ask them what the hell's going on.
I did, and he said, you need to contact the IRS. Well, we know that where that goes.
My gosh. Who should she contact if she contacts anyone, Michael?
It doesn't sound like she has any balances owed, Tom, because she's receiving a check. She can call the IRS and just ask them to explain what happened and where her refunds went. They'd be happy to give her that information. They're not going to take money from her. She has a check coming.
Okay, but the IRS does not respond in any way. So, I mean, I've called. I
think what Michael said, I hate to say this, but we have to trust him for probably doing it right. You probably did it wrong. I mean, I hate to be so simplistic, but otherwise it's just too damn complicated. I mean, apparently you owed some money, maybe more than one, maybe on more than one account. You paid one of them, but then the other one showed up owing. I think that's what happened. I think that $600, I think, Michael, you said it right. She owed some money, and what they did was sent her a notice saying that she owed the $600. When she paid that, it cleared up one account, but then the refund amount applied to another one, which gave her a balance of $11. I mean, that's what it's sounding like to me. But in general, how long is it taking people to get refunds?
If you e-file, you can get your refund in about 2-3 weeks. If you paper file, it's taking a little bit longer. But for current year, 2021, people are getting their refunds pretty quickly, Tom.
So there's no more lag time?
Not too much, no. There's lag time more with the older returns that are delinquent.
Okay, I get it. Thank you very much. That's Larson Tax Relief. And by the way, they are our tax experts. If you're facing audit or, collections or big tax problems, that's what they handle. 844 Larson Tax.
Oh man, this is terrifying. What is this? Orlando last night. It's the tallest. The Tower of Doom. This thing is like 2 or 3 times taller. Fucking kid fell out.
You can't speak to a person
that's got to be terrifying. It's the tallest ride in the fucking world.
Why is that?
Because they don't have anybody answer the phone.
Where was it? Glenwood Springs or Madison?
It's like that, but this is up.
You didn't ask for service department on the phone.
Yeah, I did. I asked the manager.
Well, I was there when the guy launched himself off the stratosphere before they put the nets and whatnot down there. He lost all his money, bro. Walk up to the stratosphere, walk up again, and launched himself. There was some guy that had it on videotape. It was just the guy that launching himself off the stratosphere killed himself several years ago. So he had it on videotape. The hotel got a hold of that guy and paid him big money for that tape.
What was it?
The guy committed suicide.
But why would they want the tape?
So we didn't get out public.
It doesn't go viral, so that nobody plays it. They paid it for it.
That's PR.
Interview candidates, all from one place. Find your next great hire visiting Indeed.com/credit.
If you're looking to sell precious metals, gold, silver, maybe an old watch, an old
set of earrings, or tangled up messes of jewelry, whatever it is, a coin collection, it can be, just stuff that you have laying around like junk. A lot of people have that, believe it or not, and they just let it sit there. Stuff they'll never wear. If you want just the precious metals and the price for them, go to DavidEllisJewelry.com, 3rd and Clayton in Cherry Creek. David Ellis is a name you've trusted for 40 years, and here's the deal. He'll weigh it and pay it. It's that simple. DavidEllisJewelry.com. That's 3rd and Clayton, 303-322-8779. And if you go there, it'll only take a few minutes, but you might want to call first, 303-322-8779. Let's talk about home loans because they can get complicated. A lot of people say, what should I do? Well, Ideal Home Loans really is owned and operated by the same person who started it many years ago. It's Brent Ivinson, and he's still at the helm. And he salary bases all his loan officers, which means they look for the best loan for you. They have options for you. First of all, you get the interest rate guarantee. So if rates go down over the next 2 years after you close, they refinance you free of charge. So you don't miss the boat. So you shouldn't wait around right now while rates are going up. You should capture a lower rate no matter what. You don't have to go back even to 30 or 15 years. You can take whatever term you want. It's the name your term loan. Plus, they have the pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. It really is. You're pre-approved. The money's set aside. You have a mini closing. And when you find the house, they can close on that house within days. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
Did you know nearly 1 million knee replacements were...
Something unbelievable. We need to talk about this. This fucking governor... No. Governor DeSantis. This fucking guy's the best. He should run for president.
No, he will.
He got something to pass in the last day or two. Both parties voted yes for it all the way across, and you're going to fucking love it. We've talked about this forever, and he's the first motherfucker to pull it off.
The one for the economics.
In order to graduate from high school now, it's mandatory you take a basic class on fucking how to manage a checkbook, buying a fucking car, investing, fucking the shit we've been talking about forever. He's the first governor that fucking implemented it, and it passed on the Democrats and the fucking Republicans all the way across. You think you'll hear anybody talking about it? Fuck no.
No. They only like talking about it.
No, they want to keep it. This governor that we have here wants to keep people fucking stupid. If they actually know shit, that's the problem with Democrats. They want to keep people stupid.
They want to keep people dependent on the government.
Fuck yeah, they do. That's their entire fucking platform. We don't want to teach people how to invest.
Then why did the Democrats vote for him on that?
Oh, what are they going to say? No, we don't want our kids to do it. They didn't introduce it. Plus, I would guess in Florida, don't they have the majority everywhere? They must.
The Republicans?
Yeah, they must.
Yeah. You might have some little pockets here.
Who would vote against that? It's like, it's voting against a cancer drug or something. You're not going to bring it up, but you sure don't want to be on the record saying, no, we want to keep them stupid.
I understand when paying patients from enjoying
money management,
that's why
checkbook, fundamentals of investing.
To learn more, visit orthocolorado.org. Ortho Colorado, Colorado's only orthopedic hospital.
Part of Centura Health.
I fucking love it.
Corrigan, voice of your Colorado Rockies. Join me and MLB legend Cal.
I remember I was baffled. My kid was probably, Miles was maybe 10th grade, and he didn't even understand the fundamentals. I was so baffled. It's shit you never think about, of how a credit card works. He had no idea. No, like pretty much, yes, that's kind of what he thought. And I was like, well, you pay it off. He goes, no, you can charge $400 and you only got to pay $10. Well, okay.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah, forever.
And you pay 23% on the balance.
But how do you go through 10th grade and not even understand it? It's because they never bring it up.
I'm going to treat you this time. I'm going to treat you this time, so don't sneak anything.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
They just never say fucking shit. They don't tell these kids anything. They don't even explain, if anything, how about just saying what as is means for a car purchase?
Yeah.
I mean, why not talk about that?
Heck, I remember my daughter getting a gift card. It was a Visa gift card, $100. She didn't understand it as you use it. Always
100.
Oh, no.
That would be sweet.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Let's get right to the phones, 303-713-TALK. Bill has a comment on electric cars. We were talking about electric vehicles and if they'll ever take over and the benefits of, there are many benefits of electric cars. And penny for penny, it's cheaper to run per mile, even considering the cost of electricity. But in any case, Bill, what's your comment?
Well, first, are you pro or anti?
I like electric cars. I like them a lot. I like regular cars too.
But do you think we're set up for it yet? What if you want to take a 1,000-mile trip? Yes. Are you going to want to spend overnight to charge the battery?
You don't have to spend overnight. First of all, there are charging stations all over. They're plotted in the cars, and the cars will take you to them on your given trip. But here's what I hear. I hear that all the time. People very seldom take very long trips in cars. But when they do, there are charging facilities. Now, there might be some areas, I'll grant you, where there are no chargers or they're set way far apart. But guess what? There are no gas stations either. So,
well, there's always a gas station.
No, that's not true, Bill. I know that's not true because I've driven my motorhome all over the country, and there are times that if you don't plan, you're screwed.
No, there's definitely signs that say this is the last.
For hundreds of miles.
Hey, Bill, though, it's not overnight anymore. With the newer Teslas and what they call the supercharge stations, you can be fully charged for over 400-mile range in an hour.
Yeah, okay, but now, do you guys have Excel where you're at, or do you got somebody else?
I have Excel.
Did you get the little flop brochure about when you should use electricity? They're telling you to wash your clothes at night, run your dishwasher.
Well, that's called on demand. That has nothing to do with electric cars. Most people are going to charge their cars overnight anyway. And by the way, your car doesn't make a big demand like a clothes dryer. It doesn't. It shows up as a very level demand.
But do you remember the Priuses?
Yeah, they're still around. What about them?
But at what was it, 50,000 miles, you had to replace the battery, and the battery was...
Bill, listen, man, you are so antiquated, and I don't want to call you a dinosaur, but really, you're not thinking. These batteries have technology. Guess what, Bill? Do you know that Tesla guarantees the battery for 8 years and how many miles? 100 and something, or no, it's even more than that.
It's a long time.
They're guaranteed. There's no battery anymore that you replace in 10,000 miles or in 2 years or in 3 years. Most batteries will go for 10 years, Bill.
What's the price of a Tesla?
Well, there are more expensive cars, but guess what? For the equal quality of that car, you would spend, for a reciprocating engine, you would spend twice as much. Do you know that? For equal quality. Now, he chose to make high-end cars, but there are electric vehicles that are not that expensive.
My wife just picked up a brand new SUV yesterday.
Yeah?
$35,000.
Where did she buy that?
Emic.
A 2022?
Yep.
What kind?
Equinox.
An Equinox. A 2022.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, in today's world.
No, in today's world. But Bill, so what? I said I like all cars. So what? Are you saying no one should buy electric cars, Bill?
I'm not arguing that electric cars aren't good. It's not, I don't.
Well, it sounded like you were, actually. It sounded like you took all the disadvantages. I can give you 100 disadvantages of a reciprocating engine.
Yeah, but the bad always happens when you don't want it to happen.
So what with gasoline cars too, Bill? There are far more problems with gasoline cars than any electric car. I'll bet you if you take the entire fleet of electric cars and compare it to the fleet of other cars, that per mile you have more problems and more maintenance with gasoline cars. You have 1,000 things that can go wrong in a vehicle that is gasoline powered. So, you're wrong, Bill. There are advantages and disadvantages to both, but technology has left your thinking in the dust. I'm sorry, it's a fact. There are so fewer things to go wrong with an electric car. It's silly. Do I have an electric car? No, I don't. But I think I might consider one. They are the highest technological cars on Earth right now. Not just Tesla, but all of the electric cars, because they have to be. And battery technology, you're thinking old school, Bill, old school. There is nothing in the world that will touch a Tesla at the same price in the gasoline engine. Nothing. Take dollar for dollar, you got 100 times more car in a Tesla than you do in a Mercedes for the same price.
Well, plus, truly they make the fastest vehicle in the world pretty much now.
Yeah.
With the Roadster.
The fastest two vehicles.
Yeah.
The Plaid is the fastest now, and the Roadster is going to be the fastest.
Yeah, can you imagine a vehicle that can go 0 to 60 at 1.9 seconds?
And Bill, for you it won't matter. Really, it won't. And for me, it won't matter. I don't know if you're older than me, you sound it, but here's what I think. I think that it's not going to matter. It's going to be our children and all of them.
Well,
and as far as people saying it's going to put a strain on the electrical grid, if everyone had electric vehicles, it certainly would. And if we continue to fire up coal plants and oil plants, oil-based electricity generation, we're not going to be environmentally better. I am not talking from an environmental standpoint right now. Just so you know, Bill, I'm talking about technology and transportation. I'm not saying it's going to reduce emissions. I mean, it will. But I'm not saying it's better for the environment. It's not going to be better for the environment if we all convert to electric unless we do one thing. And we won't do it because we have a bunch of green a-holes. And you know what that is? Nuclear power. Nuclear power is proven to be the most efficient power you can generate anywhere. And there are clean plants, and they now know how to deal with it. But you know what? We won't get them in this country. No more. We won't, because there'll be protests up and down the streets. Yeah, they'll be protesting that. They're not protesting violence and crime and all the things they should be protesting. But you try to put a nuclear power plant in to ease the problem with electricity, and you know what you're going to find? You're going to find people killing themselves in front of front loaders to stop it.
Nuclear would be the best.
Nuclear would not. It would reduce our fucking emissions too.
Yeah, there are no emissions.
Yeah, the emissions are what?
Steam.
Yeah, steam. But no, fucking don't have a nuclear power plant.
Nuclear and
Watch for
What
that
is it?
delay. Now the rest of
nuclear and
I-25
hydrogen.
and
So explain, I know this much about hydrogen, but I do know that they're talking about getting hydrogen from water, right?
Right, exactly.
So would we literally have a hydrogen tank of gas or water version?
It depends on which way the technology goes and how efficiently
Could
they
you fucking imagine if you could take water and convert it to
100%. But right now, and they can do it, but it is so expensive to do it. They can't do it.
Right.
It's also energy.
Hold on,
It's
guys.
negative
Let me just
energy.
do this.
A short list of quality candidates on Indeed, whose resumes match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, let's talk about BlakeHarrisLaw.com. I love people who give free advice on the phone, and he'll do it. I'll give you the number, 833-ASK-BLAKE. If you didn't get that, I'll give you two again at the end of this spot. Blake Harris Law does wills. He'll do beneficiaries' deeds? How about payable on death certificates for your bank account? You say, oh, I can do all that myself. Well, no, but you got to do it the right way. And not only that, but you need the will written the right way. So many people do things the wrong way, and they're socked with taxes, and they're socked with the wrong way to do it. Here's what you need. You need the right information. Maybe you want to avoid probate altogether, or maybe you're facing one right now. If you need help, BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. You know someone else you need and you get free advice from? Frank Duran, the real estate man. .com, a free market analysis of your home. This is not a drive-by or a Zillow or a phone call. He visits you. He'll take pictures. He'll get comparables. He'll take measurements. He'll tell you what that would list for, what it would sell for based on his 27 years of experience, because Frank Duran, the real estate man, wants to be accurate in case you ever want to list it with him. There's no obligation, but if you do, you won't find anyone better than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Floor coverings come in all shapes and sizes, right? And Simply Floors, Inc. has all of them. They have a wide variety of carpeting in all different quality, all different prices, you know, because really, you want something lesser maybe for a rental than you would for your dream home. They also have LVT. That's luxury vinyl tile. And they're the experts at installing that stuff and avoiding all the problems that come up with them. And they also have all kinds of wood, including laminates and engineered floors. Here's what you want. You want Simply Floors, Inc., the experts, the better installers, and the design consultants that help you incorporate that floor into your home. But the best thing, the lower prices. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
So many people have told me about Blake, and no wonder. It's the new way to sell.
Fucking Bill. I like Bill, but he's a fucking he's
Hey,
a
Philippe,
dinosaur.
did you watch any of the Supreme Court investigation into Johnny Brown?
Or the best price for your home. Let me tell you
Johnny Brown.
Yeah,
You mean the confirmation?
Yeah, did you watch any of the Senate hearings on her confirmation?
Oh, Katanji.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did.
Did you think it was political or racial?
Which parts?
Overall, the questioning.
Overall, the questioning was
9 out of 100 Orchard customers sell on market.
politics. It was racism cast in political bullshit. Okay, I mean, not all of it, not totally, not everything, but some of the stuff was like ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but I thought it was because of her progressive, what was her perceived progressive ideology, and had nothing to do with her color.
Okay.
If it was a white woman with that political philosophy, I think the questions would have been the same. Trying to get her to give an opinion on CRT, on abortion, on gay rights.
The definition of a woman.
Yeah. I thought they were trying to get her on her philosophy.
And I think they missed it. They missed an opportunity when she said she couldn't. She wasn't a biologist, so she couldn't define a woman. Okay. Well, then the simple fact is, then Biden said he wanted to nominate a woman of color. So if you can't define a woman, how can we be assured that you fit the profile that he set forth to begin with?
So you don't want her to be confirmed?
I don't give a rat's ass. I really don't.
No,
it's a lot of the very left political grandstanding, where the transgender movements and as far as the definition of a woman. I don't really care if you're black, white, blue, pink, or purple. It doesn't matter to me. You look at the swimmer right there. Everybody's making a big deal out of it right now. We're competing inside the women's sports, and that's what they were leading to, because the right is very, very aggressive and against the whole thing. The left is very much embracing it and trying to make it a larger part of the political spectrum or atmosphere.
I think what they did was so much less than what
I think they let her off the hook with that question. Way too easy.
So to be clear, as a seller, you pay zero.
I watched a bunch of it, and I thought it was mostly ideological.
It was mostly the right trying to grandstand and prop themselves up about being against the left agenda.
I agree with you.
That's how I see it.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm sitting here saying, wow, what's the point, okay?
The point is, I can, in one word, midterms. They're trying to
It's
get
not
the,
even just midterms. I mean, you know, because
but they're trying to get the philosophy.
Ted Cruz was making sure that he was up there, hitting with questions that would put him on the front pages of Yahoo or Google, or you know, whatever the case may be, because he wants to make a 2024 run.
Yep.
He feels he was robbed by Trump.
Operator.
If you came across someone struggling,
Well, he wasn't robbed by Trump. Trump beat him.
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
Cruz was the one that stuck it in the laundry.
Yeah.
You know, you see Rand Paul doing similar things. Rand's going to get up there. He's going to try it again.
I think DeSantis.
Because I'm going to get a little camera or an old phone. I just want to try it again.
Tesla needs a cure again.
It has one. It's in the glove box.
Next to the ashtray.
Can have a bar too, once they get the autonomous driving down.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. If you want inside and outside, you get it with Genesis. Genesis Total Exteriors, they also do solar. So for all your outdoor needs, really solar panels and roofing and siding and windows and gutters and painting and decks and doors, and they can do all interior stuff. So if you have insurance problems, they can fix it. Put it all on one invoice. Genesis Total Exteriors. I say Genesis because they do more than exteriors, and it's Genesis Solar too. 303-679-8509. 303-679-8509. Let's go to the phones and talk. And again, I'm not trying to insult people. I mean, Bill, I know Bill is a friend. He's called a lot. I don't want him to get upset with me. I was giving my opinion on electric cars, and it wasn't from an environmental standpoint. It was from, I think, a practical standpoint. I really believe that electric cars are better cars. After researching it, I think they're better cars. You know, Jeff, you're the expert in cars. I mean, but maybe not the expert in electric. But what do you think? I mean, what is your honest to God feeling? There are some fine automobiles, but I think dollar for dollar, if you compare the same price cars, the electric ones are better.
The technology is definitely better.
Okay.
You know, for each individual, you know, it's just like if you're going to buy a pickup or a Hyundai. I mean, what actually fits your needs?
Do you know that electronic drive, the all-wheel drive, can make 1 million adjustments a second for slip? I mean, no mechanical, nothing can do that. No reciprocal.
Similar technology inside.
Do you?
The regular vehicles, yeah. You just look at the ABS system.
No, I know, but man, I just, why is it so superior with the electric vehicles? I think
there's a lot of it that's actually more simple.
Oh yeah. And that's why.
That makes the technology easier.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. 303-713-TALK. Trish, what's going on with you, Trish? How can we help you?
I just had a question about, here it is. Is there a government assistance program to pay for or to help defray the cost of adult home health care?
Yes, Medicare.
Okay, Medicare. Do you, because...
and Medicaid.
Okay, and Medicaid.
Yeah,
if
you qualify for Medicaid or Medicare, but we can get an expert on to talk about this. You know, tell me your situation that you're looking at. That's even better. Then we can probably work backwards. What situation are you trying to cure or help?
Okay, my neighbor suffered a hemorrhagic stroke.
Okay.
He is 65. He is disabled.
All right, hang on, and we'll come.
He's in a wheelchair.
All right, we'll come right back to you and more coming up. Okay. 303-713-TALK. Let's see what help is available for her neighbor. I'm Tom Martino. Get your calls in.
303-713-TALK. Okay, so neighbor suffered major stroke.
Here comes new ways to save big. Local credit union is offering 1%.
What's
It's fruit.
all strokes hemorrhagic?
Yeah.
It's fruit. I just didn't know what you wanted in it. So
Thank you so much.
The coffee machine's working
What's the
again?
difference?
No, it's a stroke is a stroke.
They're all
Yeah.
hemorrhagic, or
Yes.
they're all blood, right?
Yeah.
Hemorrhagic.
Or visit Velco.org/CD
Ah,
to open a CD
the
on
Kimmerman.
Velco membership is required. Conditions and restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA. Velco, banking for everyone.
There are lots of places to get national news, but for the local stories that affect you most, count on Newsbreak's new email newsletter. Right now, listeners of this show will be entered for the chance to win $1,000 when they sign up for Newsbreak's brand new email newsletter at iHeart.com/newsbreak. Get the top 5 news stories from your neighborhood delivered straight to your inbox every morning. It's completely free. Sign up at iHeart.com/newsbreak and be entered to win $1,000.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
ABC News Now. I'm Alex Perez. In Poland, President Biden and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin visiting members of the 82nd Airborne Division, thanking them for their service. President Biden's visit to Poland includes him meeting with the President of Poland, as well as visiting with Ukrainian refugees and U.S. humanitarian groups bringing aid to those who have fled Ukraine. Earlier today on Air Force One, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan clarifying President Biden's recent comment that the U.S. would respond, quote, in kind to any use of chemicals by Russia.
The United States has no intention of using chemical weapons, period, under any circumstance.
Meanwhile, deaths from starvation described in Ukrainian cities attacked by Russian forces. ABC's James Longman is in Lviv.
Ukraine is pushing back on the ground, but they cannot defend from Russian aerial bombardment. So while the invasion may have stalled, Russia has not stopped raining down bombs.
In Russia, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says his country is facing total war declared by the West. This is ABC News. A Ukrainian refugee wins the Jerusalem Marathon.
Valentina Varenska telling reporters she came to Jerusalem so, quote, her voice could be heard. The 31-year-old says she ran for peace, for a better future for the children of Ukraine. Her husband is back home, a soldier in the Ukrainian army fighting the Russians. It's unclear if Varenska and her 11-year-old daughter will return to Poland or remain here in Israel, where over 12,000 refugees have found safe haven. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
A push in Europe to streamline messaging across all platforms.
Under a proposal at the EU, Amazon, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, and Alphabet's Google would be required to make their messaging services compatible with each other.
ABC's Jim Ryan, tech giants are lukewarm on the proposal. A farewell in Sweden to Dagny Carlson, known as the world's oldest blogger. She died at the age of 109. Alex Perez, ABC News.
The Mutual Insurance Company presents
109 years old.
Don't you just love the smell of old books?
Hope she has family because her friends are all dead.
Sorry, man.
Well, you know, and that was one of the things that we had an old lady in the shop several years ago, and she was coming up on her 100th birthday. And, you know, she kind of brought a perspective of it I never thought about before. You know, once life will make to 100, it must be great, but it's like, well, not really. You know, because she's outlived 2 of her own children, and most of her friends. So yeah, I lived to this late old age, and my kids died at respectable ages, and those, you know, most traumatic causes.
Right, they died at 70.
But I still have a very my own children.
Yeah. My dad outlived all of his friends. He died at 100 and a half, and he said all of his friends were gone. I mean, luckily he had 5 kids and a bunch of grandkids and great-grandkids. But as far as his contemporaries, they weren't there anymore.
I told you about the old man and the old woman at the nursing home, right?
What?
We're sitting around, you know, relatively new. They get to coffee one day next to, we're sitting next to this little pond, up in front of the nursing home. And he looks at her and says, "You missed no sex." She says, "No, not really." How about you? Yeah, you know, sometimes a little bit. You know, just with a hand job or something nice from time to time. So, well, I can do that for you. She raises up there. We're sitting there talking. They start to make this a regular thing. They have a nice conversation. She just observes for example. What they doesn't show up. The next day, again, doesn't show up. She starts looking around for him, and she finds him with an anthropology behind the bushes. She gets all upset. She says, she's calling herself. What's wrong? So I saw you after you can't see pedigree. So we're going to have some quality time together. What's Nancy have that I don't have? It's Alzheimer's.
Until they pass the proper training course. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. A decent drive on I-25 between C-470 and Northland, but in the Castle Rock area, still looking at some residual delay, making your way towards Wolfensberger Road, and that was from an earlier police closure. All lanes have been reopened, but the jam is still trying to unwind from the front there. Now, the rest of the drive in the heart of Denver looking pretty good. No problem spots on
Pizza Day again? I assume they got pizza. I don't know. It could be Jimmy John's or something. He's not
weather, partly cloudy, dry today, 65 for the high, 33 for the low. Sunny and 77 for the weekend. Highs both Saturday and Sunday.
I'm looking forward to my first golf game of the year tomorrow. It's going to be 77 degrees.
That's what they're saying.
Hiring heating up? Indeed's hiring platform makes it easy to attract,
advantage
screen,
of
and interview
weather and
candidates
go
all
evict the skunk out of the backyard.
You have a skunk in your backyard?
Yeah, burrowed in there.
Did you call animal control?
For what?
To get the skunk out of there. I don't know. What do you do with it? Kill it?
Just soak it down. You can pick them up after that. They don't have enough muscles in the tail. They have to be able to raise them.
Yeah.
You soak them down, all the hair gets wet.
Oh, really?
You can be able to try. Trap them.
Just like on the
toss them down by the ditch. Find an anthill or something. Leave them on that.
Equity catch out that's best suiting your financial needs.
Are there babies, you know?
I've only seen the one.
Tell them that I sent you, and I promise you'll get fantastic customer service.
The hole going into a little den, if you will.
That will prepare you for these uncertain
like dealing with it in the dark.
So call them
I don't blame you.
and tell them you
My
want
dog
to
got stuck here a couple years ago. I've never seen a dog gargle before. He almost caught that. He almost got this on the last second. He got it straight in the face, mouthful.
Did he smell like crazy for a little while?
Yeah. You know, I'd always go up. We use douches.
Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Tomato juice where you get a red dog. The douches look pretty good, but I found another one where you actually mix baking soda into a paste and put the baking soda on. And before you wet the dog, don't wet the dog. You put the paste on with for about 15, 20 minutes. Then the dog off and then douche. It looks pretty good. But yeah, he'd get wet. For about 2 months, he'd get wet and he'd go pick up the road.
Hey, Mark, did you get that shirt from Kramer?
Hold on, guys.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday. This is the only show of its kind. We're here to solve your problems, answer your questions, take your complaints. Honestly, our entire goal is to make your life a little easier, a little happier, and with a little less stress. I think that puts it in a good...
That is a great way of putting it.
All right, check it out. We're going to get right to the phones with 303-Martino. That number's open. We can take whatever problems you have. By the way, something we don't mention enough, and I want to beat Tom up a little bit about this. This show, $300 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, services directly due to this show over 40 years. In fact, the longest-running radio show with the same host that's still on the air. That's amazing. And that's all we do. We're not here to talk politics. We're not here to try to change your mind. We're not here to do anything but help. Any problem you have, 303-Martino. Meantime, let's go to Trish. Trish, I do not understand what I see on this board. It says, is there a government program for adults? What does that mean?
I think we should get Integra, too. She was talking about someone who had a stroke at home, and...
I didn't even know. I must have been out.
Yeah. So listen to this. Home assistance... I think, Suze, we need to talk to Integra because I know Medicare and Medicaid pay for a certain amount, and there's a new push to try to keep people at home. But maybe, Suze, we can get Integra, and John Jones or somebody over there might know of programs that we don't know about for home health care.
So, Trish, you want to be the actual caretaker? Is that what you're saying?
No, actually, my girlfriend is taking care. Well, He has a girlfriend, and she is taking care of him right now.
So that's the caretaker.
Yeah, but she's saying in general, though.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, is the person on Medicaid or Medicare?
Okay, the person having the stroke is on Medicare.
Medicare. Okay, we do need to ask John. I know going through Medicaid there's certain things, but I am not sure about that. So hold on. We're going to get Suzanne to get up our expert, Trish. We're going to get an answer to that. In meantime, George, what's going on with you?
Hi there. Thank you for taking my call. I'm having a pretty good problem with my HOA management company.
Okay.
I was having a neighbor show me how to redo the insides of the toilet and the tank, you know?
Yes.
It's just not my thing. And okay, now, at the same time, the unit right next door to my condo was sold, and the new owner wanted to access have the company plumber.
Wait. Hold on. What does this have to do with you swapping out a flapper valve in your toilet?
Well, man. They sent a guy over from the management company, sent a guy over that they have do all their stuff, a guy that works for that man. And he went down through my crawl space. He also wanted to check and make sure there were no leaks from my tubs, etc.
Got it.
So he did. I allowed that. Then since they were moving in and stuff, I let them access my crawl space or our crawl space from my unit. So there's chicken wire in between us all. Now,
hey, George, is this a dupe? George, how many units are in this?
$157.
Wait, George, hold on a second. How many units are we talking about?
Oh, there's, just...
In your building, how many units?
In my building, gosh, probably 10.
Okay, so...
40 buildings.
Okay, there's 10 units. Do you all share the same crawl space? Or you have your own crawl space?
Yes. Basically, yes. You could make your way from one end to the other.
Okay, but
it wouldn't be necessarily easy.
In most circumstances, like in a townhouse, the crawl space that's under the building is not going to be up to you to repair. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Are you responsible for everything in the crawl space?
They're not trying to charge us for anything down there. Okay.
All right, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
The guy gave his boss an invoice stating that they want $657 to replace the innards on my toilet, which they didn't do. I wouldn't let the guy do it.
Okay.
Now, so I typed him a nice little email and used big words and everything and told them they're not going to pay that.
George, okay, George, I swear you're just losing me a little. Let me ask you a few questions. Question number one, did they do any work to your toilet? Did they do any work at all?
Not a bit. No.
Did they do any work in the crawl space?
I think he tightened a valve or something.
Is he trying to charge you for that?
No.
And you never signed any work order or any authorization to do anything, correct?
Oh, no.
You declined the work, right? You declined the work.
He didn't offer any work.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Well, the problem is he told his boss he fixed my toilet. The boss billed
so they're billing you for it.
So he's totally lying to his boss.
They did not well, yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah, because he claimed he did a repair he didn't do.
No conversation about this or anything, man. What they did was not apply my exorbitant HOA fee to the HOA fee.
Okay, George, hold on. Are we talking about this HOA bill, though, is only for that plumbing repair, right?
That's what
the alleged
snowball that's having an effect.
No, here's what I want to ask, though, because really we do want to help you. Now, I hear two issues here. You say HOA, exorbitant fees. So I want to know one thing. Forget the toilet thing. Were you up to date on HOA fees?
Always.
Okay. So now, how much are they charging you for this guy's lie? How much?
$657.
And he really...
The innards on a toilet that he didn't do.
He absolutely did zero. Nothing. He didn't touch it.
Did nothing.
And this, and he has the nerve to say that you owe, or the HOA is saying he did $600 in repairs.
Yeah.
Where's the leap to the HOA? Did they threaten to lien the property or something? How does the HOA even get involved?
Well, because I believe the HOA is the one. Is the HOA the one that hires him and then sends him to you?
Yeah, they have a guy that does their service.
I see.
Kind of hand in glove. And then the so-called plumber, I called him a workman in the polite email I sent.
Yeah.
But in any case, he works for that man that has the contract for this place.
But it all comes down to this. He did not get paid from you. He bills through the HOA. The HOA put it on your bill, and you're saying, I'm not paying for this because he didn't do anything.
Well, as it turned out, I held my ground, and then they, what they did was they did not apply the $450 a month that we paid.
Oh.
They didn't apply that to the $450. They paid him.
I get it. Okay. Now we understand. Okay, George, we understand. They took his regular HOA now, Mark, and put it toward the plumbing bill, and now he's behind in his HOA.
What makes no sense here, though, is he didn't sign anything. He's turned down the work, and the work was never done. How does the HOA suddenly bill him?
I know. Well, not just bill him, but now take his regular HOA and apply it. So, Deputy Doc, we should call this HOA for this guy. You hold on, George. We understand the problem, okay? We got more coming up. And we're going to talk about getting help for home assistance coming up.
Taxes could be your biggest expense in retirement. Don't send more money to the IRS than you have to. I'm Linda Gardner with Blue Heron Capital, inviting you to a free class, Taxes in Retirement, on Thursday afternoon, March 31st. For more information, go to registercolorado.com. That's registercolorado.com. Or call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine. Listen, I know you hear me, my regular listeners, talk about Colorado Pain Care, and maybe some new ones are listening. I am telling you, honest to God, they have got me out of pain, and they keep me out of pain. That's what they deal with. I want you to look them up, and please do something. Give them a call. Go see them. I mean, they're covered by most insurance. Don't live in pain. ColoradoPainCare.com. Multiple locations, hours from 7 to 7 for your convenience, even same-day appointments. 303-GOT-PAIN. You have my word on that. 303-GOT-PAIN. All right, let's talk about ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. And why do I say it? Because first they listen, then they lend. What that means is they look for your circumstances. Some people need money to draw out to pay off high-interest debt, or some people want to shorten their term or lower their payment, or a combination. Here's the point. Ideal will tailor a loan for you, and in every circumstance, you get the interest rate guarantee. So if rates go down, even by just 0.75%, they refinance you free of charge. Don't stop right now because rates are going up. This is the time you should capture whatever savings you can. And then when they go down further in the future, you'll be all set. But you'll insulate yourself from them going up. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. You heard me talk earlier about Century RV. Well, I heard from them and they said, Tom, you can tell them about the extraordinary trade-in values, but you can also tell them we'll buy their used RVs. That's how much demand there is. So whether you're looking to trade or to sell your RV, go on up there and you can look at new or used RVs. And take a look at the new service center they're building right next door. CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111. You go north on I-25, take the 240 exit. That's the one you would normally take to Longmont. But instead of going to Longmont, you turn right, go down Frontage Road. That's where it is. CenturyRV.com.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing an urgent medical problem, the last thing you want to do is leave your home to find care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health brings the power of the hospital to the comfort of your home. That's right. Receive same-day, high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort and privacy of your home. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to you, able to treat common to complex issues, including infections, flu, pneumonia, migraines, dehydration, UTIs, COPD, COVID-19, and much more. It's really that simple. Go to dispatchhealth.com to learn more. And now, Dispatch Health has advanced capabilities to deliver IV fluids and even take x-rays in the home. It's really that powerful. Plus, they're affordable and in-network with most health insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicare Advantage. So the next time you're sick or injured, stay home, stay safe, and let Dispatch Health come to you.
Exergen would like to say thank you. Exergen thanks all the frontline workers who sacrificed their lives over the last 2 years. Exergen thanks you all for following the guidelines to keep us all safe. Exergen thanks you all for listening to their advice to stay vigilant by taking your temperature twice daily with Exergen temporal scanner thermometers. Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature because you've listened. Thank you from Exergen.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SECURE to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. So text the word SECURE to 989898.
Is your concrete sinking, interior floor, basement, or garage? Brian here with Advanced Mudjacking. I've been lifting concrete in Colorado for over 30 years. We use cement, nothing toxic. Advanced Mudjacking, 303-424-9441. AdvancedMudjacking@yahoo.com.
So, you want the highest price for your home? Listen Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. to our Barry and Larry Home Seller Show. Listen up or miss out on the Real Estate Boom, 8 a.m. every Saturday, 6:30 KHAL.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast.
Plenty of sunshine for your Friday. Temperatures today in the upper 60s with light wind, finally. Overnight down to the low 40s with close to 80-degree temperatures for both Saturday and Sunday. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burst.
The #1 pick is in. Wendy's Breakfast, the official breakfast of March Madness. Choose your starting lineup, like the Breakfast Baconator or Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit, and enjoy oven-baked bacon, fresh cracked eggs, seasoned breakfast potatoes, and Simply OJ. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We have Barb Shue here. Barb Shue has what we call angelshelpyou.com. Hey, Barb, just like 30 seconds or less, can you just tell us what you do?
I am a family advocate and care manager.
Okay, and you help people like with aging parents and relatives do what?
We figure out what exactly they need and help them get those services in place.
Okay, so Trish, by the way, is calling for a neighbor. Her neighbor had a stroke, and now a friend is caring for him. But Trish wonders, are there any government programs available? He's 65 years old. Now, Trish, I believe that, by the way, is he on Medicare?
Yes, he is on Part A, B, and D.
Okay.
What
and
about Medicaid?
Okay, I get it. But does he have any income?
The only income right now that I know of is Social Security.
Now, Barb, one thing at a time. Are people on Social Security and only Social Security, since Medicaid now goes by income and not by equity? I think it does. I might be wrong. Can he use Medicaid in addition to Medicare?
Yes, if he qualifies, yes.
And what would the income qualification be?
Off the top of my head,
okay.
I'm
but
driving,
it's pretty,
I don't have that in front of me.
It's pretty low, right? Isn't it like something like $1,400 a month or something around there, or $1,200, something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the amount, though, but also his girlfriend lives with him, and she's a school teacher, and with her salary, The only thing is,
well, no, they wouldn't count. They wouldn't count her salary if he wanted to go on Medicaid, but if they're not married. But I want to ask.
No, they're not married.
I want to ask another question, Trish. What kind of help does he need?
He needs Monday through Friday during the daytime only home health care. Somebody to bathe him, somebody to feed him, somebody to provide his medicine.
Right. Now, is that all day? All day, or like morning and evening, or morning and afternoon, or all day?
Okay. Just during the daytime when his girlfriend is at work in school. She's a school teacher.
I get it.
She needs somebody to cover her hours when she's not there.
That's called respite care when you relieve someone who's normally there. But, Barb, I need a general question for those listening. We hear about assisted living and nursing homes, and we also hear about the move to keep people at home. But does Medicaid and Medicare, do they join that effort to keep people at home, or do they say you need to be in a facility to get the care?
No, they are very much on board with keeping people where they will be the best served. If it's more health-wise to have someone in a facility, they're obviously going to want you to do that.
And
so
what if
I have a couple of questions for Trish.
Go ahead.
Number one would be, has he ever applied for Medicaid? Number two would be, if he needs care just during the time that she's gone, that's non-medical, and that's not covered under any traditional insurance. It's only covered if he has a long-term care insurance policy. Otherwise, it's out of pocket.
Okay, I get it. Because the non-medical care is considered extra. What would be considered skilled care that insurance would pay for?
A nurse, a physical therapist, occupational therapist.
Okay. So in that regard, then, Barb, the quick answer is no. There are no government programs for unskilled care, right?
Except for Medicaid. Medicaid has what's called HCDS. There's multiple waivers out there available under the Medicaid umbrella that will help with non-medical services.
Oh.
But they are not there for extended hours.
Can you say that slowly?
Okay, Trish, what's she saying? Trish.
I need to hear it again.
I'm going to tell Trish, I'm going to tell you. In general, regular insurance, not long-term care, but regular insurance, health insurance, and Medicare will only cover skilled care, skilled nursing, or skilled medical, not convenience stuff like home assistance. However, she said that Medicaid does have a section that will pay for some assistance at home, okay? But, so what you need to do is you need to have him, the very first step she suggested was have him apply for Medicaid to see if he qualifies.
Okay.
That's the first step. Then Barb can come on and answer other questions. And of course, angelshelpyou.com for anyone listening with, relatives and friends that you want to help, like Trish is so kind to call for her neighbor. But Barb, I have a quick question. How do you charge families? And let's face it, we're transparent here because we trust you completely. How do you charge people?
We have a multitude of packages available dependent upon what the family needs. It can run anywhere from $500 a month to $5,000 a month, depending on what services they want and how often they want our help. And most long-term care insurance policies now cover the services of a care manager.
Okay. And I should say, no matter what they spend with a qualified care manager like you, you're actually saving them time, effort, and money. That's my opinion.
Correct.
Yeah. And you will consult with people and not charge them to find out, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to give your website and your phone number now, angelshelpyou.com. And it's a great name because you really do help us. 720-449-BARB. And that's for her name. 720-449-BARB. Thank you, Barb. And Trish, call us back, okay? Or call Barb directly. She won't charge you to talk to you. 720-449-BARB. Okay, Dan, what's going on with you? What's happening?
So, my wife went to college clear back in 1983 in Nebraska, and she quit going to school there, and now 38 years later we get a bill from that college for $6,000.
From the college or from the lender?
No, from the college.
From the college. Well, it's a little late.
Well, that's what I'm calling to find out. Is there a statute of limitations or anything on that?
This isn't legal advice, but most likely in that state, it's going to be 6 years.
Where is it?
Okay.
Where is it?
Wyoming.
No, Nebraska.
Or Nebraska.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Most states have a statute of limitation. Now, is it from a collection agency or direct?
No, direct.
He's saying it's directly from the college 38 years later. That's, man, talk about amazing. I wonder where they even got the record from 40 years ago.
Right. What upsets me is in between this time, my wife and I have filed bankruptcy, and if I knew I had that bill, it would have been included in the bankruptcy.
Long as it's not connected to school loans. That's the only thing I'm a little nervous about.
Okay, that's good.
It is not.
Now, when you said bankruptcy, let me explain this. Did you have a zero sum total bankruptcy?
Yes.
Okay, what that means for those listening, you didn't have a pot of money that you doled out.
A no-asset bankruptcy.
Yeah. If you had a no-asset bankruptcy, then anything you did not include by mistake will still be included.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it wouldn't matter because, as Mark said, the statute of limitations.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing. 38 years later, man. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Thank you. More coming up.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Kelly.
Well, they ought to pay it. If they owe us money, they ought to pay it.
Marty wants to know, why even build a car that can go over, well, let's say this 85. That's the highest speed limit in the States. Why even do it?
For emergencies. Would they knock Montana back down?
You know what? That's the best answer you could have right there. There's a bunch that are 80, but the highest is in Texas, and it's 85.
Because I know for a while Montana had no speed limit on the highway.
They probably
Then they actually knocked that down because they were having too many accidents. So I think they knocked it down to, I think it was I want to say it was like 110 offers.
They took it isn't anymore. No way. As soon as they took federal money for their highways, it went down. That's why our DUI levels went way down because they wanted the highway money.
Let's talk about American Restoration. Rock and his team, and the reason I want to talk about them is because you're nuts if you call anyone else. If you have toxic mold, if you have broken pipes, flood, fire, even the major losses up in Marshall area or the Boulder County area, or you have fringe damage like ash and soot and that kind of stuff. Here's the message. Most restoration companies suck. I'm sorry to say that. We've had so many people call here and say they've been ripped off. Now, you may think, what difference does it make, right? Because my insurance pays. Here's what difference it makes. If they don't do a good job, you don't get a second bite of the apple. Your insurance company will say, sorry, we already paid. Call American Restoration first. 8337-AMREST. Full EPA certifications. That's 8337-AMREST. Or online, AM, that's AM, AMREST247.com. You know, retirement plans come in two forms. The qualified plan, where the money you put in is tax deductible, but there's all kinds of rules. And then the non-qualified plan. Now, We have a non-qualified plan that will just astound you. It's called Become the Banker. It's very simple. You take out a small life insurance policy, but you pay more than the premium on purpose because the extra money goes into an account that grows tax-free for your retirement. The best thing about it is you can borrow it through your life and pay it back, putting more interest in there on purpose. And then guess what? In retirement, it serves you without ever paying tax on it. That's becomethebanker.org.
Welcome to Mi Casa, Catherine.
Mark, so okay, there's my pipe right there. And it doesn't fix drywall. I thought it didn't go up after paying off that Hyundai. That's not bad, right? Okay. They say over 720, it doesn't matter what you have. Got leaks or low water pressure? Call Repipe Specialists. They'll repipe your whole house in 1 or 2 days. I don't have that. They offer the option to complete the job by repairing the drywall. What is this?
Frustrating, isn't it?
New inquiry. Oh yeah, that's from a Tesla for my kid. I mean, not for my kid, but for me. Because I'm making him make some payments. I'm putting down the majority, like 75%. Call today. But he's going to have a little operator. 2910 or visit wepipe.com.
Where does it show all your shit?
I don't know. I don't know.
Helps people go from where
That's
they
what I was
are
looking
to
for.
where they want to be.
On
From
time
meeting
payments,
key
100%.
employees to managing an entire workforce.
That's good.
From starting local to going national.
That's
From
good.
generating wealth to generations of wealth.
Yeah.
Two things, Mr. Martino. Don't lean too far that way.
What, this way?
That way.
This way.
Yeah, because you fall out of frame. And keep your mic a little bit that way more. Now you got to face.
Maybe I should just descale it here and put the vinegar in now and let it sit all weekend. That's the thing. You got to let the vinegar sit.
There's even more fun.
The thing is, if you come in before me Monday morning, you can't make coffee.
No, but I don't normally do that, but I just
Okay.
always clean it.
Bruce Jenner came out against
It has to be flushed out like several
Bruce
times.
Jenner came out against
So
the well.
anyway, okay, I'll start it then. So no more coffee, guys.
No more coffee today, guys.
I'm gonna put the vinegar now.
No, it needs to be cleaned. That's what's going on.
It is so hard to get people.
Twice? How's that even possible? To sell your home and get paid twice? You can with Orchard. It's simple. Orchard makes you a solid cash offer.
Yeah, Mark Major, M-A-G-E-R.
Boom. Here's your cash. Orchard handles everything.
Oh, good. I just need to pay off a vehicle.
Prepare, clean, list, and show your home. And if your old home sells for more than Orchard paid you for it,
Trump,
you
I signed up for his mail.
That bears repeating.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like I'm part of a huckster. I mean, I'll tell you some of the offers I get. It's just like, what are you kidding me?
Look, in this hot Denver
What kind of
market where
offers?
there's so many
Okay, like,
companies trying to
I'm having a rally at a secret location, and only you will know, along with my other followers. Sign up now. Okay, if you want your name mentioned during the rally, you could be the one. Donate as little as this much. Or another one, sign up to get a signed copy of my book.
Listeners of this show will be entered for the chance
Just
to
like
I get a lot of that crap unsolicited anyway. I didn't sign up for any.
No, but from him.
.com/newsbreak.
Well, some of it comes from him, some of it comes from McEnany.
Delivered straight to your inbox.
50 minutes.
Completely free. Sign up.
I'm calling Chase to pay off my fucking car. So I finally get through to a human who puts me through to...
I did it online to Hyundai.
Yeah, Hyundai. And they go, oh, our next representative will be 50.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Harris Family Law is a law firm designed to take the heat out of a divorce, a family law firm, and what they do is collaborative law. That means what they do is they will represent you and contact the other parties and agree not to take anything to court but to settle it out, and then only what they absolutely necessary have to go for a judge, they do. You can find out more about them by giving them a call, and they do a great job. HarrisFamilyLaw.com. In fact, if you're thinking about a divorce, they do something called an early neutral assessment, which takes you through it from a neutral standpoint, not saying, oh, I'm going to do this and you're going to do that and they're going to, and then you decide if it's worth going through. You may want to sit on it for a while. No, they're good people. Harris Family Law, they'll do unbundled services as well, which means any part of the divorce or all of it. 303-515-5000, 303-515-5000, harrisfamilylaw.com. Okay, so now Wally's got a comment on electric vehicles. Today is car day. Jeff Vick from Kimmer Transmission is with us. We've been talking about the new electric cars and the wonderful technology. And I was talking about how I love them, and I love all cars. I really do. I love electric vehicles a little better when it comes to technology and ease of driving and safety and all of it. Not from an environmental standpoint. Now, I'm not commenting on the environmental part. I don't know enough about it, because I think if everyone had an electric car, it may not reduce our carbon footprint. I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying, as a car, I think they're better cars. Mark?
Just real quick, on the East Coast, if you have an all-electric vehicle and you charge it, you're generally leaving a bigger emissions footprint because they use a lot of heating oil and coal out there for their electric grid. So that coal creates more to charge the car. Here in the middle of the country, it doesn't work that way. It's better.
But eventually, if they go to something like nuclear, I think it would be better for the whole country.
Heck yeah.
I think all you greenies should
Wally.
move to Bhutan. Yeah. Bhutan is the only country in the world with a negative carbon footprint.
Really? Bhutan?
Bhutan, they have no heavy industry.
I bet they have no military either.
And 72% of the land is covered in forest, so they have a negative carbon footprint.
Bhutan sounds very close to an Italian word.
So,
do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so anybody who who's concerned about it, just
and the Italian word is whore, so
have them move.
I mean, the Italian meaning. Yeah. Okay, so Wally, what is your comment on electric vehicles?
Well, I'm kind of for or against it. I'm just kind of
for or which one is it? Well, take a stand. You said I'm kind of for or against.
I think it should be. I think it's up to the individual, and I think the electric vehicles could be good, but in the long run, technology is good. But you know how technology goes; it gets updated. Now, another issue I have.
And hold on. On the technology thing, what's the point about updated?
Well, it's just like computers and phones.
I want to tell you one thing, Wally.
How often does that
Except I do want to mention something. I have a friend who has an older Tesla, and he has every single option and all the updated technology as a brand new one. And do you want to know why? They did it while he was sleeping over his Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
There you go, bro.
And the price is built into it.
Well, probably, Wally. There's nothing free. You're right. So what else did you want to say?
Well, I'm against government subsidies on any of these vehicles. I mean,
you mean the tax credits?
Yeah, they're gone. Yes,
they're gone.
$15,000.
They're gone.
Isn't it funny how we had them under Trump, but we don't have them under Biden? That is amazing.
We don't have any tax credits on electric vehicles.
No, it was going to be in the bill they wanted to sign.
It was going to be
$5 trillion, but it didn't go through.
It was going to be in the Build Back Better, but we had the tax credits.
Because
we had them.
They need to stand on their own.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with him in that.
You know, Wally, that's true, really. I mean, because if you think about it, yeah, you're right.
Well, I don't think it's fair to the other manufacturers.
No, but if they want to truly get people to switch over, that was the incentive, just like with solar systems. Do you think solar systems should give tax credits?
No.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if it benefits you and you want to put out the money to do it, fine. But it should be to the individual and not spending other people's tax money.
I think they should have kept the tax credits long enough for me to get one. And then they should, I don't think anyone else should qualify. I know. No one else should qualify. Hey, Jason.
What's going on, man?
Hey, Mark Major. I got a diminished value. I got a issue I have a question about. Got a 2015 Honda Accord. Had a major accident. Before the accident, was worth about $16,000, and after all the repairs, it's worth about $9,000.
They didn't trash it, though, right? They didn't total it. You actually had it repaired.
Somehow they didn't. I was begging for them to.
Boy, that's, with diminished value, man, that mileage is tough. I would argue there's a little bit of diminished value there, but, man, it's going to be so minute, I'm not even sure if it's worth paying $300 or $400 from a report that'll prove your position. I mean, that's 140,000 miles. Was it in absolute perfect shape before that, meaning the Carfax was clean?
No.
It wasn't.
No, and that's the exact issue. So I did have a bumper scratch that hit the Carfax.
Yeah.
And it caused a delay in, it caused the at-fault party's insurance company to suggest that diminished value happened on first accident, not theirs.
You know what I'd like to do, and that's a question I don't think I've ever asked the guys at Petty Details. Suzanne, let's see if we can get, what's his name at Petty? Let's see if we can get him up.
It's Petty.
Well, I know his last name's Petty, but hold on a second, Jason. I want to ask him, and if anybody knows, it's going to be our expert.
Yeah, we'll do that, okay? And we'll come up with a comment and answer for you. Hold on. 303-713-TALK. Sure. 303-713-8255. So what about diminished value? Yes, I imagine all cars are worth less when they get in an accident, but is it worth pursuing? That's the point. Is it worth pursuing? Now, don't forget Compass Insurance Group for your free insurance checkups. In the Marshall fires, they found out 82% of those people underinsured. Make sure, that's the first thing. Make sure you're not underinsured. Then make sure you're not paying too much for the coverage you have. It's free. 303-996-9000.
Those people got so fucked. They may not be able to help their fucking. There should even be. I wonder if there's a way to go after their broker's error and emissions, because that is really fucked up.
Oh, their insurance.
Yeah, because that is. You trust these people to insure you. Yeah, it's really fucking crazy.
When you say full replacement value, it's up to the dwelling amount. So 98% of the time it won't affect you because everything you have falls under that dwelling amount.
A nice weekend ahead.
Except for a complete loss.
Both Saturday and Sunday. Currently,
it's just they've got so fucked. I bet there's certain people that'll end up in bankruptcy over it because they can't pay the mortgage off.
Specializing in handcrafted colors.
Well, if they have replacement value, they should be able to pay the mortgage, right?
The most comfortable leather furniture imaginable.
Let's say they just bought the house a year ago, and they spent top dollar for it, and they had it under.
All right, let's talk about Rocky Mountain IV Medics, the people who come to you, whether it's home, your office. They've even met truckers at truck stops, all MD certified, or supervised, and they can do treatments for you, for example, for even pain. They have stuff they can give you for pain, and also a Myers cocktail for vitamin deficiencies. If you have the flu, to get you over the hump, they can give you something for just about anything. Hangovers, migraines. What you do is call them, make an appointment, same day appointment, same hour appointments. You can even text them, the same number, okay? RockyMountainIVMedics.com, 720-987-2155, 720-987-2155. I do a lot of talking about retirement planning. Why? Because I believe everyone, not just me being an old fart, I mean mostly everyone, can use Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. Now, what are they? They're a family-owned and operated firm with many experts to help you in every aspect of retirement. You may have your favorite investment counselor or reverse mortgage person, or you may have someone you don't want to reverse. You may have somebody who helps you with other things, like Blake Harris for estate planning. It doesn't matter. A Retirement Planning Center, they manage everything for you. And they save you money, they save you time, they save you effort, and they most of all save you from making mistakes. Give them a call for a free assessment. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. They'll meet with you. They'll come to you. You can go to them. 970-663-3211. 970-663-3211. Or rpcenter.com.
With a new year comes new ways to save big.
Belco Credit Union is offering 1% APY on a 24-month CD on balances.
$100 or more. That's right. 1% APY
from the Tesla people.
To get that higher rate, you typically need to be
I'll tell you on air. This is fucking sneaky.
Wait a second here. I'm getting a new text producer, by the way. B. Large from KPCO.
What about Large?
B. Large. His wife works in the building.
B. Large.
We need to help him with something that says that.
No, he's our new tech producer.
Oh,
Shannon's being replaced.
Is he large?
He's on KPCO. His wife is Jen in marketing or something.
Is he on air? No.
I guess so. He's going to be our tech. I don't really know what he does, but he's starting to train next week. Somebody brought up a good point. He did want to come on air about the Teslas. What about the disposal of the battery and when it does go bad?
You mean for the environment?
Well, I mean, like getting rid of a car battery is a thing.
You dig a hole in your backyard, you fucking put it there.
You leave it. No, you don't. You leave it at a neighbor's yard. But as far as Tesla, they're working on recycling.
It's the same as dealing with wolves. Okay? In fact, dealing with wolves. In fact, there's 3 S's when you're dealing with wolves.
Shoot,
shovel, shut up.
Shovel, shut up. What's the
Shoot, shovel, shut up.
Shoot, shovel, shut up.
They showed a.
Wait, my uncles taught me that with people.
They showed a fucking wolf video on Fox 31 or something. They fucking. I didn't know they would do this. They fucking got a cow, like a big old fucking heifer, and just fucking ate the whole motherfucker.
Oh, often they'll kill him just for the sake of killing him.
Oh, no, they're
well, yes, they do.
They're wolves, man.
Yes.
You can train those, though, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, 165 grain, you can train anything.
Financially prepared?
I saw one in a Bubbles liquor store.
What are we doing with diminished value? Are we getting petty on? Make sure she knows that.
You're getting petty on, right?
Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc.
Can you hear Mark?
Investment advisor representative.
Are you getting petty on?
Advisors Inc. A registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Centennial.
Tom's family used to shoot Jehovah's Witnesses when they came to the door.
If you
they
don't
were
know me,
told
it's
never to
probably
leave
because I'm not
witnesses.
famous. Start eventually.
He doesn't even know.
His wife must be checking his phone because she says Justin will be back in 30 minutes, maybe sooner.
Ask her if she'll come on. She knows
what's the question anyway?
We make sharp, durable
if a vehicle has already been in an accident, can you get diminished value on a second accident?
Like buy a world-class German blade.
Wait a minute.
Obsessing over every detail.
Fucking some cars are still getting.
Yes, that's what I want to tell you.
You motherfuckers! Why?
I know why. I know why.
Now everyone but fucking the inventor.
But I know why. I just don't like the fact they fucking didn't tell us this. They said there's no longer a federal tax credit.
But there's no one for them.
Why were they excluded of all these fucking people? I'll tell you, if you want to know now,
I might get my kid another car.
You want to know why now?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Okay. It's not. Oh, it's crazy.
Okay, I'm Tom Martino. We're going to get Petty on to talk about diminished value. Christy wants advice on buying a car, so let's talk to her. And
we gave some wrong information.
No. We just got an email, and we said there's no federal tax credit, and I'm kind of pissed off. Well, okay, because there's a $7,500 tax credit on just about every make you can find except Tesla.
Now, here's why, though.
What?
Every one of those.
Yes.
Soon as they sell their 200,000th car, it goes down to 3,500 or 3,750. Then after 3,750, it goes away. Tesla's already reached. They're the only one that's reached that up.
But you know what? Maybe it makes these other cars a better freaking deal, Mark.
I don't know. I'm looking at that line. I kind of like the Tesla. Sorry.
But 75. Well, what are the prices of these other ones?
Well, I'll tell you, the only other one that I really liked, and man, I don't see it on.
I don't want a hybrid, but
there's another one I really like, and I do not see it.
What about the Audi
on here?
Audi sucks. They have an all-electric. They have several of them. But what about the Mercedes all-electric? I didn't even know they had them out. And you know what? There's another thing they're going to do. They're going to hike up the MSRP. Mercedes, I'm getting pissed at Mercedes lately. They're very proud. So
Lucid.
So the Mercedes, 102,000. That's from 102,000. 350 battery life. But do they have the same kind of technology, do you think? What do you think, Jeff? Do you think Mercedes would have the same kind?
I think they're all chasing Elon right now.
I agree.
They are chasing him. But my God, if you get a $7,500 tax credit plus a trade, I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm just kind of, you know what? Let's get Mercedes-Benz of Littleton on. They have one. Let's call Mercedes-Benz of Littleton. Ask them to come on the air.
How much is it?
Well, they got them at about 104,000.
I'd take a Model S over that. Come on.
No, let's just see what they have. I mean, Mercedes are nice sedans. They're nice cars, but you know, I mean, let's just ask them. I mean, it's not like I'm going to buy one, but I'd like to know. It's free. Let's call Mercedes-Benz of Littleton to talk about the electric car. They still have. Oh man, that's a nice looking freaking car.
Oh, whoa. Come on, that looks like a regular car, though.
I know, you're right. The dash. Well, look at that dash, man. I wonder. You know what? Let's call a guy and get the sales job on it. Okay, now let's talk to Jason. I mean, Christy. Christy, go ahead. I'm sorry, Christy. What's happening?
That's all right. In the current car market, what's the best way to buy a new or almost new Honda Civic? Okay,
I'll tell you the best way, Christy, is to order it. You get less of a sticker shock. When they get them in on the lot, you'll pay for it. You pay above. Right now, because of a shortage, you might be able to order right at MSRP. And if you're looking to buy, what are you looking to buy, a Honda?
Civic, yeah.
Now, I'll tell you about the people I would buy from. And this has nothing to do with the referral list because I don't think we have anybody on the referral list, but we have JFR Cars. I would talk to Rodney over there and ask him what he could do for you for ordering one. And then I would talk to Planet Honda, only because they're good people. Who else, Mark, would we have for Honda? I think Planet Honda. What's that? Okay.
Who was the first one?
Now, the first one is JFR Cars. They're not a Honda dealer. But Rodney is a licensed broker. And you ask him what he can do to order you, and he'll be honest with you. He'll say, Christy, you're not going to get it less for 1,000 over or 2,000 over, whatever. Or he'll say, I can get it right at MSRP, or he can search current inventory. So go to him first. You will love him. I need that number for JFR Cars. They're on our referral list at referralist.com. I'll give you that number in a second. The other one, as a good dealer, because I know the family, is Planet Honda. They're good people. Does the McDonald's have a Honda place? Because they're good people too, but I don't know. But Schomp is not a bad dealer either. Schomp, do they have a Honda? I think they do.
Tom, is it ever a good idea to buy a 1-year-old Honda for her?
Well, it depends.
It's already, it's diminished value.
Christy, what are you looking for?
It's actually for my son. He either wants a 2022 or he would do a 2021 or a 2020.
No, here's what I think.
36,000 miles.
I think you're going to pay out the nose for a used one. You're going to overpay for it.
Here's the other thing, Christy. Order it, just like Tom was saying. He's going to be able to pick out the interior, the exterior colors, anything, and you're going to get it at that MSRP, if not a little less. You just got to wait a month or so.
Okay, we can do that.
That's what I think. Now, let me give you that number for JFR Cars. It's 303-520-6839.
You know, we were talking Tesla versus some of these other models out there. You know,
this is looking fine, man. This Mercedes is looking fine.
Here's what I hate about all the other ones, or most of the other ones, okay? I'll put it straight, and it doesn't matter if it's an EV or a gas or a diesel or whatever. I don't like dealers, and I don't.
No, I don't either. I hate them.
I see no reason for it. I think shopping for a Tesla is about as easy as it gets, no matter what. There's no fuss. You either buy it or you don't. They could care less. They're not going to haggle. You don't have to deal with some guy in a golf cart smoking a cigarette, waiting to hijack you when you walk up. I like.
Yeah, but look at. Can you believe Jeep Wrangler has one? Now, holy crap! There's one on here that you would have to be certifiably insane to buy when we're talking electrics. Jaguar. Do you remember Jaguar was legendary for their electrical problems? I remember I was making toast and my lights would go on. in the car. No, I'm just kidding. But Jaguars are terrible. Well, but they went away from Lucas Electrics, didn't they?
Oh, they've been owned by just about every manufacturer out there.
Anyway, folks, stay tuned for a discussion on other electric cars other than Tesla. We'll try to get Mercedes-Benz on to talk about their electric car. I'm Tom Martino. You have the Troubleshooter Show. Stick around. 303-713-TALK.
I agree, but I like the way that
Guess what I'm getting? Fucking pizza.
Or really looked at it, but I like the way the Jag SUV looks.
See, and that's the whole
Big Ford.
I keep seeing a bunch of them.
Ford owned them a while back. They sold them.
I didn't know they sold them.
Oh, yeah. They're about,
business strategy. Focusing on the health of
Motors, Land Rover.
Fuck this Mercedes. It only gets 340 range, and it's only fucking 500 horse. Actually, it's only 329 to 500 horse.
As they become more productive. There will always be challenges to face in business, and no matter where they come from, Insperity is ready to help you move past them.
Well, just about everything you can get an electronic version of. And Chrysler, as far as the American manufacturers, kind of making the biggest push about changing over their line. But even, we were talking about the Polaris Rangers earlier, putting tracks on. The Polaris makes an electric version of their ATVs, of their Rangers, of the Ramblers, of all of them. And a buddy of mine, Casey, one of my other buddies, he picked one up going through Utah last year on his way back to California. And granted, he only uses it around the shop, but he hasn't had to charge it.
In a raging war in Ukraine.
He's had it going on, what, 7 months?
President Biden visited as member of the 82nd Airborne Division, serving in eastern Poland. Some of the 10,500 American troops are currently here.
This is out in California. He's not dealing with temperature change.
You can't even,
or autocracies.
I don't know what Mercedes has been talking about.
The president said his message for the American service members was simple. Thank you. Karen Travers, ABC News, Warsaw.
City officials in Mariupol, Ukraine, now saying that about 300 people died in the Russian airstrike last week on a theater that was being used as a shelter, even as the word children was painted in Russian outside the building. This is ABC News. After 2 weeks, a tentative agreement has been reached between unions representing teachers and staff and Minneapolis public schools. School could resume as early as Monday. A new study suggests it's okay to keep that coffee habit going.
One of the biggest concerns about coffee was that it can quicken the heart rate, triggering or worsening certain heart issues. But a new study presented at the American College of Cardiology shows drinking coffee, particularly 2 to 3 cups a day, is not only associated with a low risk of heart issues, but also with living longer.
Wow! Did you hear that, Doc?
What?
That's incredible.
I wasn't.
Did you guys just hear that about coffee?
What did it say?
That's crazy.
Well, what did it say, Mark? I missed it.
It said 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day not only makes it less likely to get a heart attack, but more likely to live longer.
Wow. In the Saudi city of Jeddah, Alex Perez.
Starbucks stock just went by Starbucks right now.
Jesus.
Trying to find a needle in a haystack.
You know, coffee's one of those things every few years it's either good for you or bad.
And invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay,
and then, they went on these news blasts, they pick out a study, and they have no idea whether it was peer-reviewed or what the actual study was.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
KHAL News Time, 12:03. A bill preventing fentanyl-related deaths in Colorado being introduced at the state legislature. The
The bipartisan bill increases penalties on fentanyl dealers and has funding for treatment and education programs. Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin says the bill doesn't go far enough, but House Majority Leader Al Garnett says it does.
Paul Pazin in Denver wants to put people away who are addicted to fentanyl. And from a public policy standpoint, the data doesn't back that up.
Last year, there were 875 deaths in Colorado due to fentanyl overdoses. 24 families have been displaced by an apartment fire in Boulder. Firefighters responded to the blaze near 28th Street and Diagonal Highway around 5:30 this morning. No injuries were reported. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden will attend a Democratic National Committee finance event tonight in Denver. Tomorrow, she'll speak at the White House Initiative Latino Economic Summit at the Community College of Denver. Then tomorrow night, Biden will speak at the Latin American Educational Foundation Gala. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Premier Members Credit Union. The drive looking pretty good right now. No major highway accidents that I'm hearing about, so that is good news. Just some pockets of heavier volume. Seeing that northbound I-25 passing 225, and then again, northbound I-25 starts to heavy up as you work your way towards Colfax. 270, a little slow both directions as you work your way towards Vasquez Boulevard through Commerce City. Pretty usual there. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, a high of 65 today. Tonight.
Remember the guy with the check cashing issue yesterday? He heard you say you would help him.
Yeah.
Do you still? If I give you his info, will you?
Yeah, I'll go over there and get a check.
Do you want me to put it in IM or what?
Just write a piece of paper and bring it over here.
Every detail of every mortgage to perfection. It's not just your mortgage loan, it's their masterpiece. Join them at becomepremier.com. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 416701.
Health brings the power of the hospital to the comfort of your home. That's right, receive same-day, high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort and privacy of your home. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to you, able to treat medical to complex issues, including infection,
That Mercedes has less horsepower than a fucking Honda.
Really?
329.
Oh. How's this BMW?
I don't know. I don't know anything about any of them. I just know Tesla.
Tesla wrote the book. They wrote the fucking book. It just pisses me off. These assholes piss me off.
That's the federal government, though.
Hey, Joe Pack's coming up. Yesterday we were talking about food shortages. Now there's a green angle to Biden sending more gas over to Europe. That plus the latest from Australia on the lockdowns and mandates, and John Schneider's got a new album out. We talked to him about it and more on the Joe Pack Show. Tonight from 6 to 9 on 6:30.
And they're rear-wheel drive.
Are you shitting me? They're not all-wheel?
Not the ones I'm looking at.
No, then that's bullshit right there. That's fucking bullshit. What is wrong with that? Okay, I'm getting the Mini Cooper.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now,
that's what Philippe's got.
Hey, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-825-55. It's car day today. We've been talking about EV vehicles, electrically powered vehicles, and we've learned a lot. This hour brought to you by Silverleaf Mortgage. If you're looking for a reverse loan, you know we have certain lenders we refer you to. Silverleaf Mortgage is one of them. To be treated right, to be counseled properly on a reverse loan. If you're 62 or older, you have equity. They also have jumbo loans available to get you more money. You'll never be upside down in a reverse loan. Silverleafmortgage.com, 720-REVERSE. 720-REVERSE. Okay, so we're talking about electric vehicles. And I noticed when we said there's no tax credit left, we were told that. When we were looking at Teslas, Mark was told that. And yet, what that means is when electric vehicles sell more than a certain number of units, they take away the tax credit. So there are still cars eligible for tax credits that are electric. So the caller that called, he was right. We did not realize that. However, I will say this. Tesla, I think, I would be pissed. I don't think it should be based on the number of vehicles. My goodness. But here's what I don't like. I don't like the Mercedes as much as I thought I did. It's rear-wheel drive. Why the hell would you put all that technology into a car and not make it four-wheel or all-wheel drive?
It looks like they're going to make one, or they do make one that is all-wheel drive, but they're simply not available.
Now, there's another one called Polestar. Never even heard of it. Huh? Polestar. Who's Polestar?
They've advertised a bit on TV, Tom. They had an ad in the Super Bowl, and I definitely seen some ads for them.
That would bother me a little. That would bother me a little, getting a new company. I mean, you know, Tesla's relatively new, but when you look at Tesla, you get confidence, don't you? I do. I'm talking about the man, Elon Musk. But I'm looking at these electric vehicles where the credit is still effective. You got Polestar, Mercedes-Benz. Now, what about this Bentley? I wonder what that looks like or what it costs. Probably some crazy amount.
You know, some of our YouTubers are saying that Hertz bought 100,000 Teslas. Maybe that had something to do with their discount going away quick.
I wonder what it costs to get one of these Bentleys. Now, it says 443 horsepower. How much horsepower in the Model S?
Around 680.
Wait, what?
I think it's around 6.
Yeah, see, nobody can beat them. So why do they want, I don't know. What do you think, folks? Let's talk to Justin Petty Details. He does diminished value claims. And just on an aside, Justin, because I know you're a gearhead. I know you like cars. What do you think about electric cars?
I'm still on the fence. Tesla's got everybody beat right now, for sure.
Oh, my God. Head over heels. I mean, I'm looking at this Mercedes for the same price as a Tesla here, and it doesn't have half the technology, not half.
In the Model S, by the way, it starts at 670 horsepower. That Mercedes is 330, but Tesla goes up to 1,020.
My God. But I didn't realize there were still tax credits. That's the one saving grace. But even to just save that money, it's not worth taking so much less in power and technology. But anyway, let's talk about this. He has a 2015 Honda Accord, 140,000 miles. Justin, at what point do you stop thinking it's worth going after diminished value?
Well, if your vehicle, if its value before the accident is $15,000 or below, then you're probably not economically going to be able to pursue a diminished value unless it's just a almost total, and then they still fix it.
Well, what do you think a Honda would be? What do you think, that a Honda?
Well, his question's different, though, Tom. What Jason's question is, Justin, is he had a little teeny-bitty, itty-bitty little fender bender that was on that Carfax prior to this accident that had $6-7 grand in damage. He tried to get diminished value off of the second accident, and they're telling him, oh, no, the value of your vehicle was diminished by the first accident. That's the question. Is that correct?
Well, exactly. Sort of. Not really. Technically, you can have DV on a subsequent accident, and that's the scenario where it would apply. How long ago the first accident occurred, how bad it was, all of those factors apply. So you have to look at each one. Yeah.
Let's ask him. So
he's on.
Jason, how long ago was the first accident?
2016. So brand new vehicle, bumper scratch, $400 repair. Somehow that hit the Carfax, but that's provable. It's provable. So right before the accident, vehicle's worth 15. After the repairs, the repairs, by the way, are 12 grand, large, like $12,000. So now after the repairs, the The most I could sell it for is 10. I'm not made whole. Like before the accident, I had a $15,000 car. Now my car, I could sell it for 10. The kicker is my insurance company said no longer eligible for full coverage insurance. We're going to kick you down to liability only. For me, that's a no-starter. I'm just not going to do it.
And they didn't total it, by the way, Justin. This was just actual repairs. They decided to repair it instead of paying them that $15,000 for the replacement.
That's exactly what I wanted.
This is a third-party carrier, somebody else's insurance company, or your own?
Somebody.
Yeah, the at-fault parties, State Farm. The at-fault parties insurance company covered it completely, but instead of totaling it like they should have, now they're adding up the $12,500, the $2,000 car rental for the 90-day repair. It's like they should have totaled it, and they know they should have, but it's hard to get a smart person to admit they're wrong.
You know what, Justin, I agree with Jason 100%. Now, here's all that should matter, and correct me if I'm wrong. If that car he could have sold for $15,000 1 second before the accident, and now we can't get over 12, I don't understand how they wouldn't owe him $3,000.
Yeah, I mean, y'all are both right. It's a matter of documenting the first accident and showing how that affects the value today, because it would slightly affect it. It has a Carfax, but that doesn't mean it can't suffer again on this second accident, and it probably was minimally affected by the first accident. You know, maybe a $500 to $1,200 decrease in the value because of the Carfax, even though it was minor. But then the second accident, you would start from that lower value, that slightly lower value, and you would apply the same methodology to this accident being more severe. It would drop it another 10 or 15 points on the scale. So, yeah, there's a DV there that they would owe.
What do you charge to get involved and handle this?
Those are a flat $500 fee for the appraisal and our help throughout the entire process.
Jason, I mean, you got to make that decision, man. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. I don't think you're going to fight them on your own. Not in this case.
Yeah.
Interestingly, State Farm is fighting with me in the Supreme Court of Texas right now over an issue just like this, where there's a subsequent accident.
Oh, my goodness.
We're going to win.
It's too bad. It's too bad that's not there already. In other words, the precedent hasn't been set, at least in Texas yet. Is it going to be the first of its kind?
It will. These are typically lower value claims. It's hard to find good attorneys. I just lucked into a good attorney.
That's really cool, man. I'm dying to hear the outcome of that. That'd be a good precedent to set, at least in Texas, and then hopefully other states would look at that. Because the reality is exactly what I want to go back to what Jason said one more time. If it's worth $15,000 1 second before the accident, they should make him whole. And in this case, they're not, which is insane. It's totally insane. And State Farm sucks, by the way. There's no doubt about it. Hey, Jason, give your number out. I've got your website up here, but give out Petty Details phone number for people, Justin.
Yeah, it's 214-227-2154. And that calls our main office, 214-227-2154.
All right, man, we appreciate it quite a bit. We got to take a quick break. 303-713-8255. We have to be fine.
You know you killed your lights on that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
I don't know how he did.
Are you financially prepared?
Do you know this? I didn't realize this. Tata Motors.
For your free
Did you get the email? Tata Motors has taken over a shipload of cars. Did you know that? Who is it? Tata, T-A-T-A, out of India.
Oh, no, the Jaguar.
No, but they own more than that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Look it up.
Cambridge Investment Research Advisors.
And that Polestar is a Volvo.
They've been in the truck line.
Polestar, Volvo.
They've been in the trucking line. They're over the road trucks for a while.
You get a suppressor, and you get a suppressor.
They're not that good looking.
You get a suppressor, and you
Polestar? Yeah, I thought on the commercials it looked pretty good.
Man, that Mercedes doesn't have shit.
No, and here's the other thing I noticed. I started building one. Everything's extra with Mercedes. You know what options you can pick on the Tesla? The size tires, that's it.
Hey, if you're looking for
a quick sale of your home, I don't mean conventionally, because no matter what, It's not going to be done in a couple hours like people say my house sold in 6 hours. What they mean is it was under contract. Then you have all kinds of inspections, loan approvals, and closings. But some people want to check and they want to get out of town. And they're willing to do what it takes. So if you're one of those, or you're just curious what your house will bring to an investor, call HomeVestors. It's that easy. Call them. And you don't have to take the offer, but it will give you an idea of how fast you can get a check for how much. 800-44-BUYER. 800-44-BUYER. By now you know that I use Fix-It 24/7 in my home, and I trust these guys. They've done a furnace for me. They've done a water heater for me. They've done plumbing for me. So for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, you can trust the crew at Fix-It 24/7. Right now, a screaming deal. Mention Martino and get a $24 extreme clean and tune-up of your furnace. Your furnace is critical for the rest of this season, plus for the cooling season ahead. So get a jump on it. Make sure you have something in tip-top shape. They take it apart to the extent they can. It's practically a refurbishment of your entire furnace. FixMyHome.com for details, or call and mention Martino for that $24 screaming deal. 720-526-3939. Hey, let's talk about David Ellis Jewelry. If you're selling silver and gold of any kind, in any form, old tangled messes or old jewelry or broken watches, it doesn't matter if it has precious metals. David Ellis Jewelry will buy it. Just drop off the stuff, or, you go with it, or obviously. Drop by, I should say, 3rd and Clayton. See David or one of his people. They'll weigh it and pay it. They're local. They've been here 40 years. DavidEllisJewelry.com, 303-322-8779. That's David Ellis Jewelry, 303-322-8779.
When selling your home, you want to be certain you put the most money in your pocket. Hi, it's Marty Lenz and my realtor, Gay Ribble, with
2006 Yukon, a full report.
Every situation is different for each owner, like you.
I don't know.
And with
I don't know
each
either.
call, you'll learn how Gay Ribble can help you maximize the sale of your home. Learn about her zero
Here's one.
commission program, where the buyer pays
Have
all
we
of the
spelled
commissions,
your name
saving
correctly?
thousands
This
of
is from
dollars,
Trump.
or her
We want to
24-hour
add your
cash
name to the
offer
Trump
program.
donor
And of
wall.
course,
You have 1
Gay
hour.
will guarantee to sell your home
Now, come on, man. I mean, I'm being
price.
hostile here.
She will pay you the difference. Gay is getting her sellers top
They say
dollars
Polestar
every single
is
day,
Volvo.
and she will help you find the best program that works for you. Call Gay Ribble today, 833-453-SOLD, 833-453-SOLD.
I wonder why they didn't make that clear on their ads, because it would be, like you just said, you wouldn't buy it from a car that you never heard of, but Volvo at least has a reputation.
IRS troubles.
What's ribbing?
Really bad.
That's another one.
Jesus Christ.
Wesley called Optima Tax Relief.
They're all getting in on it, but man,
Optima Tax Relief came through.
they're
with
playing
flying
catch up,
colors.
basically. That's what they're doing. Now, if I'm going to spend a lot of money,
Call Optima for a free consultation.
You get anything but that, you're going to wish you did.
800-713-8055.
No, I'm getting Tesla.
55.
I just have to list my car.
For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
What's up, Nuggets fans? It's Jamal Murray here to tell you about Orchard. If you're looking to buy a home but want to skip all the stress, it's time for a mid-game adjustment. Orchard lets you move into your new home before you even sell your old one. Orchard turns you into a cash buyer so you can win in a competitive market. And it doesn't cost you any more money than traditional real estate. Orchard is the same game, but new rules. So get out there and win the home you want.
So, Tom, do you think celebrity endorsements mean anything?
Get started at Orchard.
Yes.
You really think so?
Do they get results? Yeah. Do they really? Do the personalities give a shit? Probably not.
No, not no.
All they need now is for you to drive them off the lot. The
Buy
Mercedes-Benz
something
family of
preferentially
SUVs have been
because some
unrivaled
celebrity
vehicles
endorses.
waiting at your local
Really?
dealer. Mercedes-Benz,
Unfortunately,
the best
let's put it that
or
way.
nothing.
I would never believe that.
Thanks for listening to Denver's talk station. Join me
I look
today.
at the commercials and know it's gotta be true.
You don't spend money on an endorsement, but it's not going to pay you back.
Denver's talk station. Available on over
Look at the
2,000
commercials
devices.
and you know it's got to be true because they are paying for it regularly.
Hi, Tom Martino. Your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. So, basically, what we have learned is the older the cars, the more mileage, the less it's worth pursuing diminished value. But in some cases, Mark, what did he say, basically? It's worth it if what?
Well, it all depends. If it's got a ton of mileage on it and the thing has been in accidents prior, it might not be worth spending $500 or $600 to have a company like his, Petty Details, to help you reclaim or go get the money for diminished value. It just all depends.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
I've had 3 of those claims in my life, man, and they're hard to deal with. They really are hard to deal with. They're getting easier because a lot of insurance companies now actually have departments that calculate diminished value. But going back 4 or 5 years, if you tried to claim diminished value from an insurance company, some of them didn't even know what the hell you were talking about.
So, okay, I get it. So in basic forms, the better the car, the better the diminished value claim. Jay,
and
you have
15,000 was the cutoff. Don't forget to mention that. He said if the car's worth less than 15 grand, it's not worth pursuing.
Okay, so let's talk. What's going on? What do you have to say about it, Jay?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Jay, what's happening?
So, not too much. A couple of things. If he can show the first accident was not a major accident and or it was repaired back up to snuff, which brings it right back up to being a very lovely car, then if he doesn't get his point across, he needs to take the person that was insured by State Farm to small claims court for the difference between what State Farm will pay and the difference is simply they're at fault for the accident, they're at fault for the diminished value. You should be able to convince a judge or a magistrate that there's an issue there and somebody has to pay it. They crashed into my car. Now they owe me because their insurance company will not pony up the dough.
The only caveat to that is if he signed something saying they're even Steven.
Yeah, I hope he didn't do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he felt like they were.
No, I get what you're saying. But, small claims court is that's a possibility. That's a possibility. 303-713-8255. What were you going to say, Jeff?
Well, until he actually sells it, he doesn't actually suffer the actual loss. Do you think small claims would actually entertain that as a demand?
Oh, what do you think, Mark? What do you think? If he didn't actually sell it, how can he make that claim?
Well, because you can determine what the value is still. That's what Petty Details does. And I understand what you're saying, Jeff. It's like when Congress wanted to start charging people that made a certain amount of money on gains they made on stocks before they even sold them. I was sitting there going, well, how do you even determine what gain they have? That's crazy. They don't have a gain. But with cars, because there's so many on the market out there, they can actually calculate what they're selling for around town.
All right. So bottom line is small claims court could be a forum, but it's better than paying for something and not getting the results you want because small claims court is the cheapest option. Petty Details is what, $350? $350?
$500 for the entire deal, meaning they're going to get it done for you. They're going to deal with the insurance company.
Cheryl, hi, what's happening?
Oh, well, I'm about to embark on getting my upstairs area of a small house remodeled. I have gone on the troubleshooter list, and I've been working with Valero Construction.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
And I'm so confused about the sequence of events that...
Okay, ask away. What do you need to know?
Am I supposed to get a drawing from him?
Well, okay, for an initial estimate, for free, a free initial estimate, you will get maybe a rough sketch and materials, but it's not going to be detailed or engineered, but you should get something. Yeah. Why? What is happening right now?
Well, I've had him over twice. He's had me pick out cabinets and flooring. a friend of mine is insisting, well, how come you don't have a drawing of how he's going to knock down walls and that kind of thing? And I figured, because that probably costs, that's more of a commitment.
Well, unless if it's, are you like adding a room to your house or just doing a remodel?
I'm doing a remodel, but walls will be knocked down.
Yeah, well, as long as they're not like load-bearing walls or anything, I don't know what kind of a drawing you would have to have.
Oh.
I mean, there are some companies that can come out. They're not going to come in at his price level, but they could do a whole 3D rendering of what it'll look like afterwards. But, I mean, that's kind of a different kind of deal.
Would you say Valero pricing and that kind of thing is like on the extreme high end? Because he does some beautiful homes. I know he did Mark Majors.
Well, you're talking to me, and he did a good job on my deck. He did an excellent job. Listen, I'm like everybody else. I got 3 quotes, and his was a little higher than the one in the middle. But the reason I went with him is I liked him, but more importantly, he understood exactly what I needed done. I have an extremely heavy deck. It's actually made out of cement. And I started having some integrity problems with it, and I can't play around with this thing because I sit in a hot tub under it, and the last thing I want is my cement deck to kill me. So he came out, and he was a little higher, but I had all the confidence in the world with him, and he did just a knockout, bang-up job. He did a great job.
Okay. Yep.
How much is it, though? Did you get another estimate? I think you're crazy not to get more than one estimate.
I've gotten 2. So I'll just work at getting number 3.
How much is higher? Which one's higher between Valero and who?
Valero.
And how much more? I mean, what are you talking about? How much more?
$1,000.
Is it apples to apples? That's going to be the most important part. Same cabinets, same countertops, same flooring, same everything.
Okay.
Well, is it or isn't it? I don't know the answer.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm going to have to really compare that. They came at it so differently. That's why I got so confused.
Who's the other company?
It's a local in Monument, and I'm not drawing on the name right now.
That's right. Yeah, but I want you to call one more. You're in the Springs or Monument?
Monument.
Call Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah, call Genesis. They have you're probably going to be closer to their Colorado Springs operation, but get an estimate from Mark. That's going to be free too. Then compare the 3 of them. Hey, Tom, does
Genesis, real quick, Genesis is, a lot of times you bring up Genesis, you get every kind of company in the world named that. Is it Genesis Construction?
Genesis Total Exteriors.
Yep, Genesis Total Exteriors. And I just thought of something else. Let me ask you this, Cheryl. What level house or what level remodel are you basically doing what I'd call builder grade?
I would guess so.
Okay, Tom, who is...
It's a 1973 house.
I got you. Hold on. I understand. I understand. Tom, who is Buy and Build? I'd get a 4th estimate from Buy and Build.
Right. They do turnkey projects.
Yeah, they just started where you can do it. And for people that don't know what Buy and Build is, we've been talking about them for years. I mean, you can buy cabinets for them that are half the price anywhere else. But up until the last year, they didn't do any installation. Now they do all of it.
Right on. I need to start listening still again.
What do you mean again? You should have never stopped. Yeah, shame on you. But anyway, thank you for calling. And anything we can do to help, feel free to call back too, seriously. You know, even on the referral list, you need to shop, okay, to get the right company right for you. Really, 303-713-TALK. More coming right up.
This is Denver's talk station.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be the first in this room to have that roadster, though. You see the range on that son of a bitch, Tom? 620 miles. 0 to 60 in 1.9.
You go half across the country, bro. What is the physics behind the fact that electric cars can go immediately, can rev up faster than...
It's not just
because
there's no revving.
They don't rev. Well, you know what I'm saying.
It's direct drive.
But it's beyond that.
No transmission.
It's beyond that.
What else?
That's all very true. It's dual motors. There's one and sometimes 3 motors. But it's the computer. The fucking wheels don't slip. There's no, you couldn't burn out in a Tesla unless you had a program to figure out how to reprogram it. Nothing fucking moves. It just simply goes. You follow what I'm saying? The computer, if one wheel starts moving, it just knows exactly how to do it. It's driving a fucking computer, man. It even feels like you're sitting on a computer.
Public insurance adjusters, what do they do? They fight for you, unfortunately, against your insurance company. And I say unfortunately because your insurance company should be on your side, but they're not. In fact, I'll venture to say without a public adjuster, you won't get as much money as you have coming. And you won't even claim all the damage because you won't know enough. And the public adjuster works for you, but the insurance adjuster works for them. Please get Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado to examine your claim free of charge. Let them go over it. Whether you have a complete loss, fringe damage from these fires, or your own kitchen fire, maybe broken pipes, you have a roof damage, you have hail, you have wind, whatever it is, even closed claims that have been closed in the last 2 years, let them look at it free of charge, and they'll tell you if they can get more money. You need someone on your side to be treated fairly. They'll always get more, and you pay a small contingency fee. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, 720-715-0000. COClaims.com. COClaims.com. Colorado Pain Care. Have I said it enough? Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine. They've gotten me out of pain. And if I ever have an acute pain now and then from an injury, I go back to them. They are good people with a doctorate-level physical therapy department that gives you, they gave me exercises to do that keep me strong and out of pain. You can trust them. They're great people. And you can make same-day appointments, conveniently located around the metro area, plus 7 to 7 hours. 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN.
It's replacement.
Tom, do you use special license to become a insurance adjuster? Yes. So they have they're licensed by the state?
Yes. Right now, Champion is offering buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Champion builds our own windows right here in the USA. We make the process easy. We help you choose the best design options for your home. We then built your project in our very own factory.
Oh my God, look at this, guys. Did you guys see that fucking kid falling off? Did you see it?
On my phone, I didn't see it well.
Holy shit.
Say no what?
Don't you agree that the thing must have popped up on him, Mark?
What are we talking about?
Oh my God.
You have it on your computer, Mark?
That kid that fell out of that ride last night in Orlando, they got it on video. Ugh.
He's sending me the link.
Disturbing.
And then we're all going around.
I've seen it all. I already saw it. And I'm like, oh my God. And then Mark's like, oh my God. Holy shit.
Holy shit. The video I saw was PG.
And then the video Shannon found was not PG. It's like, oh. But I was imagining he fell from way up top. But no. He fell after the ride came down. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, this is the one I saw. This is bullshit.
Well, see if it's in your email. Shannon send it to you.
I asked him to.
Yeah, he was working on it.
And so darn reliable.
And he's a big kid too.
Look at this shit, guys.
It's disturbing.
It is unbelievable.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or
Shannon,
personal hygiene?
sort of.
Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs. The finest specimens, pathogens, bacteria, and viruses from dead
shit!
But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered
Yeah, it looks like it just came
suction
up.
in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and
That's
multiply.
unbelievable.
And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthy.
Let me say,
join over 2 million others and find out for yourself.
Oh my
how
God,
refreshing
this
and easy
is
Navage
just brutal.
At Navage.com, Walgreens,
Watch
CVS,
right in this area.
What happened?
Watch, you'll see.
Clean nose.
do they know what happened?
I don't know.
Facing a job loss?
They don't have a why yet.
Pension
Oh,
money,
fuck no,
a
watch it.
severance package, or what to do with your 401k.
Oh, no.
Hi, I'm Linda.
Oh.
Most of your money
Is he
will
dead?
return.
Yeah, you see him.
720-488-8604.
Oh, he was 100 miles an hour.
720-488-8604.
Look at that.
Oh, no.
Someone's heard on the video a little later going on, didn't you check his thing?
Oh,
It's
my
one of
God.
the most iconic smells ever.
Oh, fuck. Where is that place?
It's in Florida. It's not Universal. It's not Disney.
They're writing a check.
Pick up something
Fuck.
in the jar and
They're
wrap
transferring
it
ownership.
calm, understanding.
No, they're writing a check.
Oh, fuck, are they writing? I think they're writing a check to everybody writing fucking in. That's there. Can you imagine seeing that a foot from you?
Yeah, can you imagine getting slashed?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Here to help you. Let's go to the phones, and just want to remind you about Genesis Total Exteriors, because we were talking about home improvements. Genesis will do inside and out, including an addition. Genesis, and that should be on your list for shopping. I've known him for a very long time. 303-679-8509. Bennett, welcome to the show. We have lines open after Bennett at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Hello, Bennett. What's happening?
Hey, Tom, I turned into your show a little late, and you were talking about cars and value. My wife has a Volkswagen Beetle. It's an 09. It's got 43,000 original miles, and no one's ever sat in the back seat. The car is just like right off the dealers, and I'm wondering if it's worth total insurance or what.
Well, that's a good point. What do you guys think?
I guess I need to understand, Bennett, what you mean by total insurance, because one thing I would have on that vehicle, no matter what, is underinsured and uninsured motor vehiclists. If you're talking about just covering the cost of the car, it's all going to be what your tolerance for pain is. If it's worth 10 grand and you run into a tree, you know, you're not going to get that 10 grand. So, I mean, that's going to be tolerance for pain. But no matter what, please keep up that uninsured and uninsured motorist protection.
Wait, uninsured and underinsured.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, I do have all of that. I'm just wondering if, you know, no one's ever sat in the back seat of that car. It's like brand new.
Bennett, what is it again in 09? But no one cares if anybody sat in the back seat.
Yeah, I know.
The value is a value.
He just wants to see. He just wants us to know how
pristine it is. So it's a Volkswagen. What was it?
It's a 2009 Volkswagen Beetle.
Okay, the new Beetle. Man, I remember when those came out. Every time you looked in the window, someone would have like a flower or rose there.
Yeah, or they put the eyelashes on the front of the car.
Or the eyelashes.
Yeah, I mean, in this market, they're still going for 12 to 13 grand.
Really?
So with car theft up, I mean, you've got to make that decision. Where is your, like you said, your pain tolerance?
Yeah, where is it? So how much more a year is it? I mean, if you really want to look at it, how much more a year is it to have it covered?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but what I'd like to do is trade it in and buy a Hyundai.
Well, I wouldn't do that now. I would wait about a year for that, unless if you have to have...
Now, why would you wait a year, Mark?
Just simply because the prices will be coming down, and they're going to have to wait. I mean, I guess they could order one at MSRP, but honestly, if you can wait to buy a car, I would wait. I just would, Bennett.
It's a bad time to buy right now.
Although here's the other side of that argument, when the prices come down on new cars, your value of your used car is going to come down as well. So it could actually be a wash.
Well, that would be fine.
Well, let's say you do want to do it. Your car's value is, let's see, this is just a very rough, it's not the convertible, is it?
No.
All right. Yep, Jeff's right there. It's about, let's say, 13 grand if it's as nice with the low mileage and everything you're talking about. So let's say you can get 11 on a trade-in. You know, a new Hyundai is going to run you somewhere between 25 and 35. So I guess I don't understand what that question has to do with the insurance, though.
Well, I just want to make sure that I'm not underinsured. I have Compass Insurance, which I love.
Yeah.
And I think they have the vehicle covered.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Compass are great people. It's really up to you, Bennett. I personally, if it was mine, I would keep the full coverage on it when it comes to the vehicle. I simply would. And that's just how I would personally do it. Tom, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Did you see this new legislation about towing in Colorado?
Let's talk about it because I think it's really important. I really do.
It is so strange to me. Some of the things they've entered into this legislation is the one that drives me crazy is if you can't afford to get your vehicle. So let's say you have it on private property, like a apartment complex.
Right.
They no longer will be able to tow if you have expired tags. Another thing that they'll have to give you 24 hours notice before towing your vehicle to make sure you move it. So what do you think of those first two things?
There's nothing wrong. Well, okay.
We get
the notice is weird. The notice is weird. They have to give you notice. So anyone can get away with it then, because if they're only going to park there for an hour or two and they get a notice, then they never come back again. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you have to give 24 hours notice, then you can park there for 20 hours. Or 12 hours overnight.
Well, I'm thinking of bigger things like...
you can park there anytime you want for as long as you want, under 24 hours.
So how about stuff next to the Pepsi Center, some office complex? I go park there, walk over, see the concert, come back. I got a notice saying I got to move my car in 24 hours. It seems stupid. But here's the thing that this is the one... I don't know what to make of our state legislation. This is the one that drives me crazy. An impound lot, if it does get towed, so you would have to have it somewhere for over 24 hours and it gets towed. You go to pick your car up. Jeff, listen to this. If you can't afford to pay for it, they have to give you your car. Now, what does that mean? How do they, what do they, is there a new financial check they run I don't know of? I mean,
no, that's true. No, hold on. You're right. How the hell do they know if you can afford it or not? You just say, I can't afford it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this is...
Well, did they even put any...
I've ever heard.
I don't think they put any thought into this dang legislation. I mean, think about it.
No, it's like that. Remember, these are the same people that almost passed the bill where anybody in any high school could virtually do anything, with the exception of
I think
things.
Wait, yeah, you're right. That was going to be... That was
you
so
could kick
stupid.
a teacher.
No, that was anything that wasn't... That was a misdemeanor. Felonies would be prosecuted, but any misdemeanor would not be.
Which was insane. In other words, you could sell drugs, you could do virtually anything and not get in trouble.
I know.
But this towing thing, I just don't understand it. If you own an apartment complex, think about this, and people park where they shouldn't be. Let's think of downtown. You have to monitor your parking or other people are going to use your parking. What towing company in the world would put up a sign and monitor your facility under these rules? They'll get out of the business. There's no way you can make money under this legislation. We won't have anybody. It'll go the opposite.
Where is this legislation actually right now? Where is it really? Right? I mean, is it truly... Do they think it will really be enacted? I mean,
let me see here.
It doesn't sound possible.
Well, I don't think it'll get that. Well, I don't know, man. Anytime I think something's outrageous, it's still that doesn't mean anything anymore.
The only part of it that makes any sense under the, with everybody having a hard time being able to register their vehicles right now, putting some sort of stay on that being the only reason you're towed, I can see that, but none of the rest of this makes sense.
It's absolutely insane.
Well, like I said, I think it's going to be impossible because you're looking at a 24-hour notice, okay? That means everyone has a license to be there 23 hours. Everyone. 23 hours is a long time. That would piss me off. if I had a parking lot. We have a comment here. Brian, what's your comment, Brian?
Hey, that Wyatt Towing Company, them guys are nothing but thieves. I live in a complex. I literally rented a van and parked it outside, and it had Enterprise all over this van. They still towed me and charged me like $300 some bucks, and they're always crowded down there. I mean, they'll find any reason. I think it's a good idea to give you 24 hours notice because them guys are nothing but predatory thieves.
Wow. Well, okay. I mean,
that Wyatt Towing, I mean, go down there any day. They'll tow you for any reason. If your sticker's one day past, they literally circle, and they don't do it in the day.
Wait, Brian, do you understand that the apartment complex or the townhomes, whatever lot, whoever monitors that lot, they go to the tow truck company and say, these are our rules. We want you to police everything. I think your blame is being pointed towards the wrong people. If they followed what they're supposed to do at your complex, the real bad guy is your complex.
Well, in certain cases, I don't know what has to be done, but something has to be done. I mean, you look at a rental van. How many people move into like you're going to rent a van or a truck, they'll tow that too, and they don't come during normal business hours and give you any kind of warning. Or,
Brian, listen, man.
Why don't you just get a sticker?
Whatever it is.
Just make sure that you get a sticker from your complex.
I got a sticker and all, but like I said, if you get a rental car...
I know, I follow. Listen, Brian, I truly understand, man. I get it. I'd be upset, too. It sounds like you got towed. You only had the rental vehicle. You're like, this is ridiculous, and I agree with that. You notice that, though? No one does blame the fucking complex. They always blame the tow people.
No, I know. Complex is not possessing your vehicle.
That's true.
But if he lives there, he should know what the rules are.
Listen, man, I get all that. I'm just saying, it's not the tow company. It's the damn
Mark. It's the HOA. Fucking, they're going as high as $100 grand. I mean, they're asking 94, well, 94, 93. I mean, I don't know, but I'm going to price it.
I put it right at that 75, just from what we looked at.
78. See what happens.
Under 8.
Sunday, 77 for the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Currently, it's 52. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 now.
Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is an official offer to buy your car. Enter your vehicle ID info, answer some questions, then get a no-obligation offer to sell or trade it. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car. Schedule a time and drive away with confidence. For all of the its, kbb.com.
So let's talk about Become the Banker. An
investment strategy that's very easy to understand. You buy life insurance and you got a premium, right? And then you overfund, pay more than the premium. In general, it's about the cost of life insurance, about 1% of what you invest. And you invest enough money and you make a guaranteed 4% plus a 5% plus a 1% kicker for dividends. That's a total of 5% tax-free if you follow the plan with Become the Banker. And that's money you can borrow from at any time and pay it back with interest to shelter even more money. The idea is to have a retirement fund. Find out more at becomethebanker.org. I also want you to check out Genesis SolarCO.com. We've talked about Genesis as an excellent home improvement contractor. You know, we know Mark Szymanski and his team, and you can trust them to do the best work. But did you know in their solar division, they offer a 25-year guarantee on components and a 25-year performance guarantee. So if you don't generate what they predict, they pay you a check for the difference for 25 years. Genesis Solar CO.com 474-4317 303-474-4317. Right now, a lot of people have stopped refinancing because rates are sneaking up, but still people can benefit. You better do the math. Even 1 or 2% savings can help you because with Ideal Home Loans, You don't have to go back to 15 or 30 years. You can pick up where you left off and get that lower interest. And here's the better part. You get a 2-year interest rate guarantee, so if rates go down again, they will refinance you free of charge. IdealHomeLoans.com. And every time you close, you get a 2-year guarantee. Here's what else Ideal does for you. They will do a pre-approval if you're out shopping for a home, and that is an incredible benefit. Because think about this. If you're shopping, it's like being a cash buyer. IdealHomeLoans.com. First they listen, then they lend. 303-867-7000.
Finding candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Here's exactly what it says.
Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds
it would prohibit private companies from towing expired registration, mandate before and after photos of towed vehicles, require a 24-hour warning prior to towing on any private property, and it would mandate that the vehicle be returned to the owner's request, even to people who couldn't pay fees. That part is like, what?
Well, the 24 hours makes no sense either.
0 cents. Yeah. Like I said, you park at Burger King, walk to the Pepsi Center. I just saved $30.
Yeah. Tell you about Rudy, a recent Orchard customer. Rudy's home sold on the market for $30.
They should, if they want to implement that, they need to do it downtown too, on public ways, not just private fucking shit. So I can go park at a meter, not put a fucking nickel in it, but I get a notice.
99 out of 100 Orchard customers.
It's more feel-good stuff.
For more than their cash.
I don't see it getting started. There's no way you can get that through.
Well, there's no towing company in their right mind that would monitor any parking.
They're probably the first ones that'll fight.
Let you skip home listing assets. If you're thinking about selling,
man, if you own an apartment,
that wasn't brought up by the PUC, was it?
No, it was brought up. That was a good one. I'll tell you who brought it up. Well, to quote this, Democratic state lawmakers. Yeah. And of course, the story starts off, this poor woman, single mother, car was towed because she parked in the wrong spot.
Oh yeah, for the guy who just got home from work, who didn't have his permit yet from his new apartment complex, didn't have to go back to work.
Belco membership is required. Conditions and
restrictions. House Bill 21-1283.
How many photos are you allowed to post?
Less than you paid for coffee, a brand new carrier.
How many what?
Photos are you allowed to post?
I thought it was endless.
From Plumline. Don't wait to replace that old
system. I thought it was endless.
Get a new system for just $96 a month. Castle Rock to Longmont, Plumline's got you covered. Earn your trust since 1998.
Surprised they didn't tag in that the tow company would have to pay for your
online. No phone call.
No, they got to tow it back to where it was.
There you go, exactly.
And if they do tow after 24 hours, when you call them up, even if you can't pay, they got to bring it back to you.
Filling my tank costs $120. Okay, it's an $80 ticket if I run.
They must return it, wash, vacuum, and with a full tank again.
And a new air freshener. Your choice of the strawberry, the forest,
or the pine scent.
The pine scent, there you go.
Well, that's the forest. Yeah.
Boy, that's crazy.
Then you get a ticket for having hanged something from your. A cop can do that if they really.
Oh yeah, they had a big problem with what city was that up north? Where they were constantly copping people for
air fresheners.
Speeding.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Well, we've had a lot of spirited discussions on all kinds of things, motor vehicles. So let's talk about a few things if you want, or call about any consumer problem, question, or complaint. But I'd like to start out the next hour, and I'd like to have more serious discussion on electric vehicles and how you personally feel about them. There is no right or wrong answer. Like we heard, some dinosaurs express the fact that they'll never go electric and that gasoline cars are the only way to go. Then others talk about how electric cars are pretty cool. And then some are indifferent or in between, or some don't trust them just yet. And really, there is no right answer. There really isn't. Now, I love cars. I don't like hybrids. That's the one thing I don't like. If I'm going to go, I'm going to go all the way. That's really what I'm going to do. And I like the idea of a high-performance gasoline car. I like diesel trucks. I like them all. But what is the shiznits right now? Some people say, once you go electric, you don't go back. And that could be true. Others say they're sorry they did it. There are people who were sorry. Now, people always talk about long trips. Do you know how many people take long trips more than 1,000 miles? Not many. Not really. But anyway, that's something to talk about. I'm Tom Martino. Also, diminished value. And, of course, any problem, question, and complaint. We have our expert with us. Stick around. 303-713-TALK.
There are lots of places to get national news, but for the local stories that affect you most, count on Newsbreak's new email newsletter. Right now, listeners of this show will be entered for the chance to win $1,000 when they sign up for Newsbreak's brand new email newsletter at iHeart.com.
I want to hear what they say.
Get the top 5 news stories from your neighborhood.
It's pure chaos.
Inbox every morning.
What is?
It's completely free.
Call an ambulance.
For what? And be entered to win $1,000.
Call the ambulance. No, call
Forward that to me if you don't mind, Mark. Would you enjoy if your knees didn't hurt? Have you wondered if there's an alternative?
They're screaming, get us out of this fucking thing.
I don't get it. You really think you'd actually go on another amusement park ride if you were sitting next to that guy?
Did you check him? I checked him.
Begin your journey to help.
Are you fucking sure you checked him? It doesn't look like you checked him. I'll tell you what, whatever attorney ends up with that fucking video,
we'll forward that to me.
Fuck. I will. It's hard to find, man.
On our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts. All in one.
You want it to leave?
Yes, sir.
God, we're all fucking sick of
Mark,
that.
can we get off audio?
Full audio.
Speaking directly to U.S. troops stationed for NATO exercises, then joining a briefing on the humanitarian
Your Yahoo, Jeff.
Ukrainian refugee crisis. ABC's Karen
Are we
Travers
off?
is in Warsaw and has the latest.
You want to be off?
President Biden see firsthand the humanitarian crisis caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The president met in Rzeszów with Poland's President Duda and heard from USAID Administrator Samantha Power, who said there are staggering needs right now. Mr. Biden said he was disappointed he could not travel into Ukraine.
They will not let me, understandably, I guess, cross the border and take a look at what's going on in Ukraine.
And Russia to be hit with more sanctions. The U.S. and the European Union are announcing a partnership to reduce Europe's reliance on Russian energy and dry up the billions of dollars the Kremlin gets from the sale of fuel. This is ABC News. A stage 4 cancer patient given a second chance thanks to a successful double lung transplant. ABC's Mona Kozar-Abdi.
Medical treatments had been exhausted for Curry, a non-smoker who developed lung cancer at the beginning of the pandemic. After performing difficult lung transplants on COVID patients, doctors in Northwestern Medicine in Chicago thought to use the same principles on Curry, and he became the hospital's first lung cancer patient to receive a double lung transplant. Doctors say Curry was a good transplant candidate because his cancer had not spread beyond his lungs. He advises other terminal lung cancer patients to stay strong and not give up.
I'm 54. I got to go enjoy life now. This is the biggest chance I have.
A new analysis from Consumer Reports shows that packaging from certain restaurants contain PFAS. Those are chemicals that health experts say are linked to some cancers. Fast food chains like McDonald's, Nathan's, Burger King, and Taco Bell had paper bags where PFAS were detected. Alex Perez, ABC News.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, and we'll handle the rest. Sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly, all for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance, so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
K-How News Time, 103.
A bipartisan group of lawmakers have introduced a measure to make it a felony if someone is caught distributing any amount of fentanyl, but it does not consider small amounts of fentanyl a felony. Denver Police Chief Paul Payson not happy with that part of the bill.
I'm very disappointed. Disappointed that possession hasn't been addressed. And when we're talking about fentanyl, we're talking about something completely different here. This is unlike any other drug that we have ever had to work through in our community.
Payson tells Fox 31 that there is absolutely no safe amount of fentanyl on our streets. A 71-year-old man facing a felony charge of criminal mischief for damage done to a Denver Recreation Center basketball court. The man arrested last week after using a permanent marker to make nearly 4 dozen marks on the court at Central Park Rec Center. He was apparently trying to outline boundaries for pickleball players that use the court for games. The elderly man could face up to 3 years in jail if convicted. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Spa Palace.
A crash westbound I-70 at Havana. The left lane is blocked there. It's backing up traffic to around 225. Now, no slow traffic either direction on I-225. That seems to be a really good drive right now. I-25, for the most part, is a good drive, too, between I-70 and C-470, with just a pocket of slow traffic trying to get into downtown starting around Santa Fe. And there is an accident reported at University and Hamden. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly cloudy, dry, a high of 65 today. Sunny and 77 for the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Currently, it's 52. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 K-How.
Spa Palace for 38 years has been the
source for all your hot tub and always be. They offer the most
Absolutely. Did you like how I wetted down our cul-de-sac before you landed?
That's an amateur, yeah. That was an amateur trick to wet down the desk.
We're just sitting there. I think it was, I don't remember what day.
I didn't tell him.
Yeah, we had no idea, and I hear a fucking hell. We live in,
and you know it's me, because I'm always going.
Actually, at first we didn't. We're like, why the fuck is that helicopter so low? And Suzanne went out front and she goes, that one's not Tom's, it's got a white stripe. So I'm thinking, well, that's weird. Who the fuck else would be landing in our cul-de-sac?
Have you seen that $14,000 DJI drone?
How long will this bull market last?
It's got to be. How big is it?
It's about GB.
What
does 14,000 get you?
Can you get in it?
No.
Oh, what does it get you?
What does it get you? It gets you
something that could probably drop a small fucking grenade on somebody.
That too. It gets you high performance drone. It's awesome. It gets you.
I get nervous with a drone this big flying near me.
Could I program your drone to fly next to the parallel?
Yeah, but man, I don't know if I would.
20 feet away.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yes, my drone you can. Yeah, but I fucking God, that's scary shit.
Have you seen what they do with drones in like the Olympics?
I know. If it got in my rotor, I'm dead.
You'd be dead, man. It's got a 4K camera, so I mean, you don't have to be that close to the motherfucker.
How would you make it track me?
200 guns.
You go to the app, and I hit your helicopter, and then tell it the distance, and it would just follow you.
You have to go slow, though. Kind of.
He doesn't go that quickly.
Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com will get you free market valuations of your home for the asking. It's a market analysis. A market analysis that will tell you what it will sell for, not what it's worth, what it will sell for, which is what it's worth. But he uses his 27 years of experience to key on what he thinks he can sell it for. And it's complimentary, no obligation to list. 303-920. 1622. Buster has a comment on electric cars. We've been having quite a discussion, and I've decided not all electric cars are worth getting, but I think it's worth looking at. Electric cars in general seem to have better technology all the way around, and way less maintenance. Now, if you go to the Tesla way, most of their maintenance, 80% of it and upgrades, they say can be done over Wi-Fi, which is just befuddling. Anyway, Buster, what do you have to say?
Tom, I don't think you're going to be able to get 300,000-400,000 miles on those.
I don't know.
Vehicles.
Actually, I don't know.
The value will fall through the floor by the time you do. It's worth nothing.
Well, let's put it this way, Buster. Let's compare this. Let's say we get an electric vehicle and we put 200,000 miles on it, and let's say we take care of it the same way as we do a gasoline car, and we put 200,000 miles on it. Now, let's say
Toyota.
Just wait, Buster, just wait. Let's just say we take two cars of equal value and put 200,000 miles on them. We take a Tesla S and we take a Mercedes sedan of equal value and we put 200,000 miles on them. Then we go to sell them. And we change the batteries in the Tesla, but we don't. And I don't know, would a 200,000 mile Mercedes need rebuilding? Not. But how much more? Okay, how much would it cost to change out those batteries? I think it's what, 10 grand, Mark. What are those batteries? 10
for what? The
Tesla Model S batteries.
I don't know about the new ones, but you're in the ballpark for sure.
Now, let's just say you add a 10 grand. I'm just wondering though, because really, if you take care of the electric car like you do a gasoline car, you take care of them the same, there's less to do to refurbish that one to get it ready for sale. That's all I'm saying. Less to do. Virtually the motors, God almighty, I mean, if you think about some of these pump motors and electric motors that aren't even that refined, will last for, oh my God, hundreds of thousands of hours. So let's talk about if we change the batteries. I'm not saying that you would sell it as is with the existing batteries. You wouldn't. Because then I think you're right. People would be afraid of it. But if all you would have to do is replace the batteries as opposed to rebuild the transmission or the engine, because really, or let's go 300,000 miles. Let's do 300,000. On 300,000 miles, you would for sure need to rebuild an engine or transmission.
Mercedes never would have made it that far. Yeah. I mean, transmission's probably already been built, but somewhere between 130 to 100.
I don't know. What do you think, Buster? What do you think?
Well, I had a Toyota with 400,000 miles on it, and a guy knocked on my door and asked me to buy it, and I sold it for like $2 grand.
Well, you would sell an electric car, I think, for as much, if not more. You're telling me if I had a Model 3, let's say the smaller EV Tesla, and you're telling me if I had it for as many miles, I couldn't sell it for $2 grand? I mean, if they take that car, you kept good care of it, right, Buster?
I just changed the oil myself.
No, I'm talking about the interior wasn't torn, the outside wasn't wrecked, right?
It had normal wear and tear.
Okay, well, let's say you take care of the Model 3 the same way. Somebody comes there, you have 400,000 miles, and you say to them, and they say they want to buy it. You don't think they'd pay $2 grand for that car when they can turn around and on that car put $6,000 in batteries in it, and for $8 grand have a new car? I don't know.
I'm just saying that I wouldn't.
Trust factor. No. Okay, I don't know what the resale is, and I don't even know how many miles you have to on that electric motor without having to rebuild the brushes or whatever. I have no idea. So you got me there. I don't know, Mark. Why don't you research on the electric motor itself? How long do they last? Because really, if you think about it, how long do generators last?
God, there's some still running built in the 50s.
I mean, electric motors, they don't really have friction. I mean, not really. They have bearings, but if you think about an electric motor, it's not touching the magnets. There's nothing scraping. There's nothing wearing except the bearings on the drive shaft, right, Jeff? I mean, if you think about an electric,
a way to move the power, to move the electricity itself. I mean, basically, to make electricity, you need, something conductive. You need a magnet. You need movement between the two.
Well, of course you do, but there's no friction in an electric motor.
Not unless you're talking about the brushes.
There's a magnetic field in newer electric motors.
Right, but you were talking about brushes.
Oh, okay, and I was talking about brushes, meaning the existing motors that we have. I'm not sure. I don't even know if the Tesla engines have brushes. I have no idea. I just don't know. But all I know is electric motors, have about, let's say, what, 10% of the friction of a gasoline? I mean, gasoline engines have friction everywhere. Everywhere.
Well, a lot of what you're doing is fighting friction in a gasoline engine. That's why you have oil.
That's right.
Why we have bushings. We're trying to keep metal parts from contacting each other.
So what we ought to do is research the actual motors, because I'm not sure at all, how long does that motor go?
Well, it's just a rotor and a stator, isn't it? And
right.
Touch.
Well, that's what a normal electric motor is. But God knows this guy probably's done more to it. And by the way, an electric motor doesn't have... Wait, the brushes are only for... I thought...
They make brushless DC motors nowadays.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what the configuration is, but there's nothing touching other than the bearings. Everything is controlled electronically. Everything is controlled by the processor that drives that motor.
So think about that. That's incredible. What wears out in an electric motor?
The battery lasts up to 500,000 miles now. That's just insane. On a Model S is the one.
What does it say? How many?
It says 300, then it starts diminishing, but they can last up to 500.
Oh, my God. I mean, think about it. What's inside a Tesla engine? There's a YouTube on it. Don't put on my sound here, but anyway, I mean, I'd like to, this YouTube will tell you, okay, there it is.
They're saying the drivetrain. About a month ago, Tesla proudly informed the media that the complete drivetrain, motors and gears, was just tested to last over 1 million miles.
If you look at this, okay, here is where...
Hold on, listen to this. After 1 million miles, this is a normal Tesla someone was driving. They pulled it apart and took photos of everything. There does not appear to be any visual wear and tear.
Because nothing is rubbing on anything except where gear meets gear. They do have a gear meet gear, which I find weird. Jeff, why would they? You have the head of a transmission person. They can't do direct drive on DC, can they? They have to spool that up.
I can see where they could. I would just see where the cost and the efficiency of it wouldn't really be there.
Because you wouldn't have the ramp up as quickly as you do with the gearing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only thing they have touching would be the gearing. But this thing is incredible.
But what gearing is it said? Because everything I'm reading, it says Tesla is a single gear transmission.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the gear.
It's basically a gear set.
So what's turning that?
It's like a different.
That gear, Mark. That gear has to turn on another gear for it to. There's no such. You can't have one by the sheer nature of what a gear is.
If you were to try to run it off the strict electricity at each wheel, you would rob so much power out of the batteries it doesn't become efficient.
It's like a 10-speed bike. You're setting it in the middle, right? But you're not going down to that lower gear they can go to.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I mean, I just don't. It says here, though, that there are interesting bearings. These bearings have no lubrication and virtually no friction. I just don't get it. But, how much did he invest before he started making money in this company, do you think? I mean, really?
It's a fixed reduction gearbox is what they're calling it.
A fixed reduction gear. So I'm looking at this YouTube.
It doesn't change into another gear.
They all take place in that gearbox, though. So I assume the only thing you might have to change would be that gearbox.
Hey, Tom?
Yeah?
I have someone texting me telling me that her brother sells Teslas.
Have him call us.
And apparently that over time, like after several years, the battery doesn't do a full charge of the range that it did at the beginning.
Well, hold on. I addressed that with the salesperson when I was talking to him. He said the mistake people make is charging it to 100% every time. He says if you know you're not going to need it, and by the way, they don't have memories like old batteries did. But if you know you're not going to need it, charge it to 60 or 70%. Don't charge to 100. Did they tell you that? You set it at 60 or 70? And then if you know you're not going to need it, when you go on a long trip, you do it to 100. But for some reason, when you do it at 100 every time, for some reason, it doesn't last as long as if you charge it partially and only charge it fully when you need it. I don't know.
They say a similar thing for cell phones. That'll actually, the batteries will start lasting less and less and less if you constantly keep it charged.
Okay. So
we keep our electric scooters, our electric bikes, we keep that stuff plugged in all the time.
Yeah,
so I'm probably
but that's not a Tesla. But yeah, you're probably hurting them. But here's the thing. They actually have a statistic as to how long that battery will take 100% charge, and it's 8 to 10 years. Okay? Suze, 8 to 10 years is what the factory says it will continue to take 100% charge. I don't know. I guess you can abuse those batteries like you can anything, right? Now, what is the price to charge up? That's another thing. What does it actually come to per mile? And I imagine we can just Google that. I'll bet you it's already on here. What price per mile? It'll tell us. I'll bet you. What do you think? And, of course, okay, so here it is. The price per mile. It's oh my gosh, could this be? It's not, okay.
I'm reading 4.5 cents.
No. We're talking about the actual electric car cost as opposed to fuel. We're not talking about every expense known to man.
Well, it's about $15 to
No, I have it exactly here.
It's like 120 miles per gallon.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly good. I have it right here, and the cost per mile for fuel, if you take the average cost of electricity, it's okay. It's less than a penny per mile.
Oh my goodness!
Wait! No, it isn't. Sorry, it's about 3.5 cents a mile. Sorry,
3.7.
That's right.
And what's gasoline?
3.5 cents, huh?
What's a gasoline engine?
You know what? I don't know. Let's figure that out. I mean, 3.5 cents a mile for this.
Here's a perfect one. This compares a Tesla to a Camry, a gas-powered Camry.
Okay.
The cost of fuel is about $2,300 versus $3,100.
What about supercharging?
Wait, in a year, 23 versus what?
15,000 miles. A Tesla is going to cost you $2,310. It's a Model S. A Toyota Camry is going to be $3,178. Remember the difference?
And wait. But a Model S is 10 times the car as a Camry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Remember, one's a little four-cylinder with about 90 horsepower.
Right. So if you did apples to apples, you have a 650 horsepower car with an S? Mark, 650 horse?
670, or if you get the Plaid, 1,060.
Okay, so if you compare apples with apples, the Tesla runs circles around the cost of gasoline cars. Circles. I mean, it's incredible. And do you know they even have solar charges for them?
Hey, insurance is more, though.
That's right.
I just priced it. Insurance does bump you.
Now, okay, how much more do you think for a comparable?
All I can compare it to is the Model S Tesla we've got coming is going to be $1,700 more a year than my 420 horsepower Genesis G90. Price-wise, at MSRP, the Genesis is probably about...
Yeah, let's not talk about that. But in any case,
it's about 20 grand less.
Okay, but in any case, the point is that the insurance is more, though. I don't know why. Okay, the cost, maybe because just the cost of the car. If you took a similar car with the same price, I don't think it would be more, Mark. I don't think it would be more. Well, let's ask Compass Insurance Group.
They broke down this Camry.
Let's ask Compass. Let's just call them and see.
No, we should. Listen to this, how they broke down this Camry. So 6-year cost of vehicle. I'll go right to the bottom line. The Tesla Model S 6-year cost is $133,000. The Camry LE, which I believe is the lowest Camry, is $60,000. So the Camry is half the price over 6 years.
Is half the price for what?
Half the price of ownership of everything.
So it's way more expensive to own the Tesla than a Camry.
Well, okay, here it is. Cost to buy, 107 versus 31.
Oh, I get it. So they're picking everything.
Fuel, 4,000 on the Tesla versus almost 10,000 on the Camry.
Yeah, but Mark, okay, but enough said. But what I'm saying is, why would you compare a Model S to a Camry? You would compare a Model S to a sedan, a Mercedes sedan, apples with apples.
No, I agree, but I think what they're trying to show in this horribly written article is that it is not much more, even though this makes it sound like much more. But if you really think about it, it isn't. For twice the cost of a Camry, you can own a Tesla.
Well, better yet, for less cost than a Mercedes. I'll bet it, because if you think about the maintenance alone. Listen, Mark, I know what Mercedes spent. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen a service maintenance stop with a perfect vehicle, quote, less than $2,000.
I don't think.
I think it. No. Okay, the lowest one.
Never left Westminster with less than $1,000.
Never, ever. Probably more.
Anytime you go there, the second you get your car back, you're complaining.
No, I mean it's the cost of ownership for. But that's what you have to compare. You have to compare luxury to luxury or economy to economy. It's not fair to take a Camry or a whatever and compare it to the top of the line Tesla. That's ridiculous.
Do you take them to traditional body shops, Tom?
That I don't know. Let's talk about that. I mean, you know what? We should get someone on. We're going to do that. If we don't do that next car day, we have to get someone from Tesla to talk about the Tesla. Or any of my smart listeners, give us a call. 303-713-TALK.
Everybody's got cost of maintenance, but only that one article brought in the cost of the vehicle.
But fucking cost of maintenance.
Oh, here we go.
They showed me cost of maintenance on a Model S.
Hold on, this one's for
$500.
This one's for Mercedes.
Meet local sports stars and celebrities, and of course, hear from the Hall of Famer Cal Ripken himself. For more information,
says if your speed demon tires on your Tesla is going to be a big ticket.
Register to attend today.
Let's talk about buying income.
What the hell does that mean? A lot of people have a 401k or they have savings or they have a lump sum. Now, Deputy Doc had that. When he was getting up to retirement, he bought an annuity. That gave him retirement income monthly for the rest of his life. Everyone can do that. In fact, if you don't wait until you're older and do it when you're younger and add a little each month, you can have a fantastic paycheck in addition to Social Security and everything else. Find out more at mymoneymyway.com. Annuities done right. And speaking about doing things right, theartofgranite.com. You know, The Art of Granite is a wonderful place because they will quote you on the phone. They're so proud of what they do for you when it comes to deals. They deal in all natural stone or man-made materials, whatever you want for a countertop. They'll sell you the materials at wholesale, then fabricate it and install it. They don't charge for tear out and haul away. They don't charge for the bathroom when you have the kitchen done. And for a limited time, you have a free sink when you mention Martino, theartofgranite.com. 303-386-5919. Get your price, 386-5919. There's no one better than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. 303-920-1622. You can get Frank to buy for you, be your buyer's agent. He has a team for that. He looks over every deal, or to sell your property. Whichever side of the table he's on, he's a master negotiator, and he has stats to prove it. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid twice? How's that even possible?
Get paid twice. You can with Orchard. It's simple. Orchard makes you a solid cash offer on your home. If you agree, boom, here's your cash. Orchard has
I think you're crazy to buy
paint, repair,
any other
clean,
electric. I still
list,
say that.
and show your home. And
At least right now.
But Mark, I have no qualms, no second thoughts about
that bears repeating. When you're
no second thoughts about a Tesla at all.
You get paid.
I don't care what you say.
And that happens 99%
What about
of
it,
the
Doc?
time.
Do you think you might buy one?
I promise my son the next car I buy is going to be electric.
So many home buying
What?
companies trying to
My son is very concerned
Electric,
about
good.
So he made me promise the next car I buy will be an electric car. I thought he said he was concerned about the environment. Was that? I thought he said he was concerned about the environment. He is.
Yeah, but it really doesn't help the environment. That's not even, you know what? That did not even come into Mark and our decision. Do you know that? Did it, Mark? Did it enter into your decision?
What?
The environment.
What do you mean the environment?
Because you want to be green.
Oh God!
It wasn't one reason why I did it.
No, it's quiet as fuck. It drives itself, and it's faster than anything I've ever.
Our delivery has been just to May.
Honestly,
on the 3
early May.
Free mortgage reviews with no
ours is June.
Bonnie is so psyched.
You're just going to have a simple
Yo, you know, he can't drive it for a
Actually,
while, can he?
He's got some.
No, I mean, but when can he drive it? By himself.
Oh. So why not
November 10th.
Oh,
November
that ain't
2nd.
No, that ain't.
Well, no, he won't have his license then because he was late getting his permit.
These kids these days, I can't believe they do that.
No, so he has to have his permit for a certain
1 year.
Yeah, so he won't get it for spring.
These kids these days, including mine, I had to force my kids to go get their fucking permit.
Really?
Oh, I won't go anywhere.
My son was counting the minutes.
I was.
Hey, man, I was driving illegally. I love you so much.
I was too.
We were. Oh.
Yeah, we all.
Didn't we all cheat?
I drove all the time.
Didn't we all cheat?
Oh, man.
Then I had a friend who had an old car on his property, and they had like 50 acres or something. And that was the shiznits, man. We would all drive. We were like 12 driving around.
I drove me and a friend to middle school one time for the day. How old? Oh, middle 14.
Did your dad?
No, he was out of town. I'd use it when my dad was out of town. That was my car. And my mom worked all the time. She was a school teacher. So she was never,
can you imagine?
She was never home.
Such a criminal
At 16 on my
I'm
dad.
surprised Mark is out of prison.
Car.
Tell you the truth.
That's when they come to
So
visit.
text the word secure.
Dude, I'm spotless on my record.
9898.
Your driving record?
My driving record is spotless. Absolutely. I mean, my record.
You're talking about like all the years. Mine's been spotless for 6 years.
Oh shit! I went through a time where I had like 8 points, man. I thought if I got like one more 3-point ticket, they were going to take my.
I always managed to have
Estimate line sheets and checkers shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers.
I drive like an old man.
Lines are easy to install.
That's why I'm going to love this fucking car. I'm going to let it drive. I'm going to send
Oh shit!
Blinster.com.
Does she really?
She loves to drive. She hates me.
Suzanne hates driving.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Okay, so continuing with our vein of electric vehicles, Brian Burns talks about this with insurance. He's talked to me about it. He's talked to Mark about it. We've been looking at electric vehicles. Brian, in general, same cars, electric, same prices, electric versus gasoline, the same exact prices. I'm not talking about the top of the line one, bottom of the line other. But if you compare apples with apples for luxury and body and performance, is electric more?
That's a great question. So the problem, I have a hard time answering that. I'd have to do some more research to find out. But because in general, electric cars tend to be more expensive to insure. The part that I'm throwing a caveat out is whether or not they're exactly the same price. But in general, I'm finding that it's more expensive because the cost of repairs possibly are more. But that's a lot of times comparing, like, let's say a Tesla versus another, standard vehicle, a GM, and your Tesla is going to end up costing more because it's going to be more expensive to fix.
Well, insurance doesn't pay to fix except for the body in an accident, right?
True, but that's what I mean. But there's all sorts of sensors on electric cars that aren't always on your standard cars.
But could you run a quick analysis on 2 cars of similar value or not?
Yeah, let me play around with that real quick. Give me about 10 minutes. Okay?
Yeah,
I'll just try to get one.
Like a Model S is around $100,000, so pick a Mercedes or something of the same vintage.
Yeah.
Now they have Teslas less around 55 or 60. Whatever you can find. It doesn't have to be top or bottom, but just make sure they're both around the same. And let's just find out in the next. Thank you. Hold on. Okay, so that's Compass Insurance Group.
Here's two that are identical. You ready? A Tesla Model S and a 2022 Land Rover. No, you want a sedan, though, don't you? You want something that goes fast. And I'm not saying you. I'm saying
no. Brian,
want two fast vehicles.
Brian, we want two performance of the same and body of the same price range. And then let's see what happens. What do you guys think will happen? I don't know. Jeff Vick, have you ever even given it thought yet as far as your shop? Like maybe finding a class, or do they even offer them? Have you ever been hit up for that? How about your computers? Do they have them in there?
Do we have computers in there?
No. Do your computers at your shop, what do they call? All data?
All data on Pro Demand, yes.
Do they have electric cars in there?
Depending on the model, yes. Not all models are in there yet.
What kind of...
Well, Chrysler's got a lot of electric. They're, as far as the American, big three, they're really trying to start the lead as far as the electric vehicle is concerned. Ford's got them inside their trucks. They've got them inside the Mustangs. They've got all sorts of electric vehicles out on the road now.
Really? So, do you ever get calls to work on them?
Not yet.
But have you thought about where you will educate yourself on it, or
sooner or later we're going to have to find some sort of avenue to be able to work on them? Yes. It's a matter of what aspect is actually going to be coming through a shop like ours, which most likely would be only just that final drive.
A lot of people believe that the man Tesla, I'm not talking about Elon Musk, but the guy he named the car after. A lot of people believed he was insane. Did you know that?
Intelligent people are commonly thought insane.
Do you know what the biggest difference between Tesla and Edison were?
AC versus DC.
Exactly. And why do you think AC won out?
Because it could be transmitted over longer distances.
Exactly. But there's and another reason. Cheaper. It's cheaper because you only need one leg. You can ground anywhere. The common ground, so to speak, was the common ground. And yet it was more dangerous. And people argued and argued and argued that AC would be more dangerous, cost more fires, more electrocutions, and they're correct on all of it. All of it.
Well, they made huge campaigns talking about how it would kill people.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Tesla was the DC guy. Right?
No, Tesla was the AC guy.
Oh, wait.
Edison Westinghouse was the DC.
Oh, okay. I got it the other way around. So Tesla won out. Then why did he die penniless? Why?
He pretty much handed that technology away I think it was to GE, wasn't it?
I thought GE was Edison's.
No, I think it was Westinghouse.
It was Westinghouse?
Yeah.
So he pretty much handed over the technology just to see it get into use. He went in and just demanded a salary.
They said that actually Tesla was probably smarter. Nikola Tesla.
Every time you talk about him, I think of my son. He named his dog Elon Husky. Because he has a husky dog. That's the dog's name, is Elon Husky.
Listen to this, Thomas.
Yeah.
Tesla has its own insurance company.
Ooh. I wonder.
And it actually...
Does it give preferred rates?
It gives extremely preferred rates because they can monitor your driving 24/7 and grab more data from that car than any other insurance company. There's a caveat, though. It looks like it's only in Arizona, California, Illinois, Ohio, and Texas.
Oh.
It's probably just like the Starlink. They just have to get more and more available to pick up different areas.
Can you imagine if you sold insurance, you could monitor every... I'm sure they have the technology to pull up any video that's in that car at any second. They could literally tell everything you're doing.
But Mark, they have insurance companies that are advertising that now.
Oh.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Leland Conway at 2, 6:30.
Holy, wait a minute. Hold on. There's a lot of people that do shit in their cars they don't want seen.
No, I know.
Well, how can you keep them from looking?
I don't know.
No, at any time, you can be in your car.
You're going to have to tell Stephanie to calm down.
How many cameras are inside the car?
Fuck if I know.
But haven't you heard the those cars with those insurance companies?
You're talking about a company.
Yeah, but we're talking a whole different level.
Right. But
they can track. Name anything they can track.
Right, but you
But these other insurance companies just track how you're driving in circles.
They don't even track speeding. Did you know that?
You know, I'm telling
I don't
you,
think any of them.
this guy's wrong.
I don't think
They're
any of
not going to need brakes hardly ever.
No, the brakes last about 100, 120.
And they don't need
They
antifreeze.
gotta last longer than
They
that.
don't.
They probably because it's all electric brake.
On my truck.
They don't need antifreeze.
In your truck, you have to brake.
Well, 'cause there's no
These
water.
can use a motor to slow down.
Well, I can do the same sort of thing. I have instant braking.
How fast I went when I went over my.
Hey, if you are in trouble, if you have a DUI
or some other crime, don't ever try to go through the system alone. I'm not going to get into the preaching, although you can prevent DUIs. It's easy, seriously. But no matter what happens in life, things don't always go perfectly. Sometimes you're even falsely accused. Sometimes there was a mistake. Whatever it is, listen, you can't do it alone. That's why we have Joseph A. Lazara. Don't shop when you're under pressure. Joe Lazara has been with us for years. He can defend you. He'll give you flat rate pricing and free initial consultations. 303-429-6200. You heard me talk about Genesis so many times because Genesis has two divisions. You have Genesis Total Exteriors, which does everything on the outside of your house and home improvements inside. They can do basements, baths, kitchens, complete room additions. They can fix your drywall, and they can pop-top it. You know what? They are a full home improvement company and outside too, which means they can do all of your storm damage on one ticket, deal with one person. So you have the reliability of someone I've known for years, Genesis Total Exteriors. Now, here's another thing. They do solar, GenesisSolarCO.com. Genesis will give you a system, will sell you a system, and not only do you get tax credits, but they guarantee that system, the components, for 25 years. They also give a performance guarantee of 25 years. Find out more, GenesisSolarCO.com, 303-474-4317. So
With Tesla Insurance, you will make monthly payments based on your driving behavior in that time frame. Your premium is determined based on what vehicle you drive and your monthly safety score.
How about your mileage?
And how much you drive.
Okay, I'm going to get my kid. I wonder if I got to ask him, it might be cheaper.
No, it's not in Colorado. Oh. So every fucking month you could have a different price.
But, I mean, this is the same company that's launching satellites all over the fucking place. Your car's going to be able to look into your bedroom.
That's what I mean. They're saying they can track.
Well, they know about
they go, there's nothing you got to plug in. We got it.
Mark Villeneuve, you have a hard on.
Fuck. Hey, he's watching you porn doing 80. Ooh, we got to hit him with a safety kit.
Can you get Netflix on that monitor?
Just to be honest.
Can you get Netflix on that monitor?
Yeah, it's right on. It's fucking. It's right. It's
They
the
can't have that in your front seat.
It's for the fucking passenger.
That's fucking dangerous.
Why?
But what's going to keep the driver from looking?
Excuse me? All these cars got screens in them already?
Yeah,
now.
what's the difference?
But they don't have Netflix.
You fucking watch Netflix.
That honestly depends on what kind of system you have in your car, whether or not you can play fucking movies on those screens.
Not in the front seat, you can't.
Dude, I played movies in the front seat of my Chrysler.
Not in your monitor.
And it's only a 2008.
How did you get online to do it?
I cheated.
Okay, well then you hacked it. But listen, as far as me, I don't watch Netflix. I listen. Do you know that on Netflix you can have the story mode, right?
Yeah, just listen.
And I literally turn it down. And it's like books on tape. Did you know you can do that? They narrate. Like, Johnny walked into the dark hallway. I mean, it literally narrates.
I'm looking up Tesla's programming here.
That's one of the same features as like turning on the
closed
subtitles.
captions. It's called audio description. I do that. In fact, I very seldom watch it. When I'm at home sometimes and I'm laying in bed at night, Stephanie's asleep, and I put my earpiece in, but I don't watch it because I don't want the light. And I just lay down and I listen to the story.
Only while in park. Only while in park.
I knew something.
On the front monitor.
But in the, okay.
From leading few employees
only in
to
park.
managing an entire workforce.
So if you're sitting waiting for someone, you can watch a movie.
From generating wealth to
I'm sure somebody has a hack for that.
Well, I'll tell you what, you'll avoid your warranty. You fuck around with their software to cook. Michael at Michael's Auto Body learned that the hard way. Well, this is about 4 years ago. Yeah, I think he found some software and flashed it to override the 155 miles per hour or whatever it said at. And he got a notice within like 4 days saying your warranty is fucking voided.
Character and ethics.
I need to hear from my fucking daughter, by the way. I just realized she went down there for an estimate. I don't even want to talk about it.
You can't use that adjective with your daughter.
Okay, who's this? This is Gary from Tesla.
Oh my God! He can get me a plaid immediately for no more than ordering it. I'm gonna beat you to fuck up, baby. He just told me I'm gonna beat you to fuck up.
Ask him what color.
Oh shit! But they're so fucking expensive.
I know it adds 40 grand.
God damn it!
How much do you want for it?
Hold on, days with
it adds 40 grand.
Shut up.
With something plaid on the license plate.
There is no difference. I'm talking exterior, not the third motor. There is no difference but the spoiler, which I already ordered.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. You think they were listening to us? 303-713-TALK. Okay, Brian Burns, what did you come up with?
All right. So these are pretty rough. I just threw it in as quick as I could. I've got a
now. Hold on. What's important is what age group did you use?
You know what? I used a adult male that is 35.
Good.
So,
good.
It shouldn't be. But again, I did the same for each of the companies.
Good.
And
you did a Model S. You did a Model S compared to what?
Well, it's compared to a Mercedes S584 MA. It was the one that came in the closest on value.
Okay, go ahead.
I changed the value of that Mercedes to be identical. So I did $122,000, which is what this Tesla came up with. So I just did the exact same value for the vehicle. And it's interesting because first carrier came back with identical rate for both cars. Identical rate. Then the next carrier that I sent it through, the Tesla was about $100, $180 more. The next one.
Wait. $180 more per year?
Year.
Okay.
Okay, but then the next one came in and the Tesla was $2,200 more per year.
Brian, why?
And then,
where did Progressive fall, Brian?
Same rate.
2,200 more?
No, the same rate.
Oh, good.
No. The same rate for the Mercedes versus the other. And then the other one, just to make it even weirder, the last carrier came in and the Mercedes was $400 a year more than.
Okay, Brian, I'm asking you a question, and you know why I'm asking it. What companies did you compare companies for? You know who?
Yes. I didn't do a quote on the company that I have you insured with because I can't get it in real time. But
okay.
I did. Whenever I do it, I do shop it around to everybody. Whenever I'm doing
because
quotes,
I wouldn't want to go with a company. I would not want to go with a company. But here's what I want to ask you. Let's say one company was cheaper for the Tesla, but I have my other vehicles insured with another company. Would that be more expensive overall, or is it always better to have all vehicles with the same company?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, you would never want to separate it out unless you're the only operator, I guess, because the problem would occur that if you split one vehicle off, you lose the multi-car discount, but then you would have to list all drivers in the household on that policy that has the single car, even though you're thinking you're never going to have anybody else in the household drive it. They're excluded if they're not listed, and insurance companies will, especially with spouses, that kind of thing won't allow it.
What if you had the car just for the kid? Would that be cost prohibitive?
To put the kid on his own policy, is that what you're saying?
He has to be over 18.
No.
Yeah. If they're under 21, it would never make financial
Okay,
sense
so
to do it that
Brian, then my question to you is, since I'm considering a Tesla, I would like that Tesla and all of my cars shopped just to see. I just don't want to get dinged simply because a Tesla is in the family. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I understand. Well, and you can see it's important to actually have it shopped because it varies greatly.
And that's why we say always use an insurance broker. Compass Insurance Group, 303-996-9000.
We owe a break?
Now, impact traffic.
Why do sometimes my text not go through? Okay, I'm going to kill this right
Friday,
now.
I-25 slow both directions.
You know what's up?
Town and north of the city. An accident northbound 225.
Wouldn't you think something like a Tesla that auto brakes?
I might go buy that.
There's an accident westbound by 70 at Havana that's been cleared, but still slow from Chambers. And east on 58th Avenue, a broken water main.
No more than. You know what that means is someone canceled the exact. New. It's brand new. Yeah, okay. Is it from the Tesla guy? Yeah, okay. I mean, he can't do anything.
And guaranteed fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Leinster today and save big. Leinster.com.
Colorado Pain Care, sport and spine. The reason that I talk about Colorado Pain Care is because I truly love these guys for taking me and getting me out of pain, and then the physical therapy department showing me how to stay out of pain. No joke. ColoradoPainCare.com. Please go there and find out about their multiple locations. Their hours from 7 to 7. You can make same-day appointments. 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN. All right. Blake Harris Law will answer questions free of charge. That's my message to you about estate planning. Don't waste time. Call him and just ask. He'll even quote prices up front, and it's all free when you call him. So now if you have him do something, he'll charge you for that, and he'll quote it up front. A will, a trust, beneficiary deed, whatever you need, 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE. You know, I like Jeff Vick. He's here with Kimmer Transmission. He's a good guy. I like Deputy Doc. I like Talib. I like Mark, but I don't like anyone more than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. This guy is like the nicest man you'll ever meet in the world, and everybody who meets him says the same thing.
It's called the bromance.
Oh, man, he is wonderful. So if you want a great person to represent you buying or selling real estate, or you want a complimentary market analysis of your home, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
What's up, Nuggets fans? It's Jamal Murray here to tell you about Orchard. If you're looking to buy a home but want to skip all the stress, it's time for a
Mark called, texted me while we're talking saying, we have a fair amount of plaids in inventory that I can have for the same price. He'll refund $200. Well, he doesn't have to refund it because I still want that. See, he thinks I want that instead of that. I want both because I want one of the three.
Mark, Tommy, should this be my horn?
Wait, can you program it?
You can make that car say
I know what I'm going to say.
Get out of the way.
Oh my God! You can program your horn.
My neighbor comes down the road daily.
I don't know the legal thing, but you can do whatever you want. I'm sure some cities have strange rules.
Are you saying you're selling the plaid at the same price?
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you're saying.
What color is the one?
I'm going to go trade
I wonder why they're not selling plaids.
One of my normal ones, just for one.
I wonder if people ordered the cheap drawing.
You want to raise somebody else. They found that they ordered for $40,000 less.
You should ask Brian. Well, it's definitely going to go up. I don't know, dude. 1,000 horsepower vehicle is going to be expensive to insure.
I don't know why I want a 1,000 horsepower vehicle.
Why do you want a 600 horsepower vehicle?
I didn't say I was
0 to 60. 0 to 60.
He hasn't moved
Hey,
up
Jeff,
on these guys.
0 to 60, 1.9.
You want to hear something? That's unlike a combustion engine, you actually have torque on demand. It's there.
It has 30 miles.
You know, listen to this. Oh, so it's not new, or that is?
No.
Okay. Bandamir, if you have a vehicle, you ready for this, that does under 3 seconds, they will not allow you to race without a roll cage.
That makes sense.
It makes sense, but it's funny because none of the fucking Plaids or the Roadster coming out are qualified to race.
Mark, that's the auto drive.
Oh shit, you're going to be 55,000 more.
No, the whole car. The whole car is 145.
The whole car, yeah, 145 plus tax.
No, I'm sorry, 147.
Yeah, you're 55 more. The S is 95.
You know what though? I'm 68. Goddammit. I haven't rewarded myself well.
Why do they? Why you don't want the auto drive? Why can't they just unprogram the auto drive?
I'll talk to them about it.
Yeah, there's no reason for you to get that right now. Zero. As soon as they get it off beta, they will not allow you to use those features. You will not be able to. Listen to me. I know you're the big man. You will not qualify to use it.
To use what?
The auto drive features.
Why?
Because you have to be perfect rating every month or they pull it. Even if you spend the $12 grand.
And what does that mean?
That means
they monitor my driving habits.
It's yes.
And if I don't drive it perfectly, they won't give me the privilege.
Yes, but they'll still charge you for it.
And how often, if you're on,
you pay for it when you buy it.
if you're on 70, how
Hey, I'm
often
Tom
do you go
Martino.
65?
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-255. Barbara, what's going on with you, Barbara? What's happening? Barbara? Hi, how can we help you, dear?
Sporadically delivering papers for several months.
Thank God.
I'm wondering, is there what power do we have as subscribers?
You know what you should do, and I'm not kidding you, by the way. Do you know you can get the online edition for next to nothing, way cheaper than doing it by carrier? Have you ever thought about that? Do you have a computer or a tablet?
I got a laptop.
You should do it.
Yeah.
Think about how convenient it is. It's hard to take in the toilet with you, but other than that, no, it's not.
I'm just a few years older than you are, Tom, and
Yeah.
I really like holding a newspaper to read.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that because now you sound like a lot older than me. No, but seriously. Hey, Barbara, really, we've tried calling them before. I'm going to be straight with you here. They don't care.
They also can't get people.
They don't care. No, with the cost of paper and everything, I predict within 3 to 4 years, they won't even have a paper edition.
Well, that certainly follows.
You should make the jump
pattern
now,
of
is
the
what he's
company
saying.
That bought them.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Pardon?
make the jump now is what we're saying. But if you don't want to, I understand you don't
I've already
want.
paid for it.
Yeah, I know,
I've
but
already paid
we can
for
get
it until next summer.
We can get you that adjusted. But look at. Would you? Okay, Deputy Doc. Here's a woman, probably your age. Would you help her out?
She's not that old.
Anyway, she said a few years older than me, and he's a few. Anyway, Deputy Doc, we should call the post first, see if we can get her some help.
Well, the problem is they can't hire enough people, Tom. They don't have the people to deliver the papers. That's the issue.
That really is the issue. There's not much we can do. But I don't know, Barbara. I mean, that's really the sad part of it.
Barbara, you can get a nice tablet on Amazon, a nice one for under $200, and it'll look like a tiny newspaper.
She has a laptop.
Yeah, laptop's way different. You get that tablet, you just touch on something, it pops up. You can enlarge the text. You can do everything so easily. A laptop would be very hard, I think.
Well, harder to take in the toilet.
A lot harder.
You know, do you read it?
Not an issue.
Yeah, I know. But let's get serious.
She's in the toilet right now.
If we call them for you, we've done it in the past. It all comes down to the individual carrier. And to be straight with you here, like they're having trouble getting people. Gas is at an all-time high, and paper is. So they're going to be phasing out home delivery. We can call, but it'll fall on dead ears, and we're just being straight with you.
How about getting
Go ahead.
How about getting some money back?
No, we can help you with that. We can help you. If you want to cancel, have you ever called, by the way, to cancel?
Threatened.
No. If you call and say, I want to cancel,
They should give you the refund.
they'll give you a refund.
Barbara, try that. If it doesn't work, we'll call for you.
Yeah, call us back Monday. Call up, say, hey, I haven't got my paper for this. I can't.
No, we will. Call them first and ask for a complete refund or whatever you haven't used. And tell him you may even sport the idea of the online edition. All right, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission. You can always reach him at transmissionsdenver.com. He's at 303-693-1400, 303-693-1400. He's on the southeast corner of Jordan and Arapahoe.